Hey there, welcome to the Baka Gaijin show. I'm your lovable rascal of a host, Zeke, and with me, as always, is my infra-specific co-hosts, Kevin Faulkner.
In what?
Interspecies.
Infra-specific.
You're an interspecies reviewer.
Awesome.
I think I did that.
But you're actually interspecies. You're not, you're a bastard child.
Oh.
I want to say like a fairy and an ogre.
Did you just co-opt my thing into a different thing?
Yes. Welcome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Hi, perfect. Kevin.
Hello.
All right. No, I got a whole thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Welcome back to the show, Serodin.
Hi. I've been gone for weeks.
Yeah.
You have. You've been gone for a couple weeks, bud.
I ran out of food and I needed to go dumpster diving for a few weeks. So, welcome to America.
Is it just a tradition that people just go homeless on this show now?
I mean,
I feel like this will impact our ability to get future guests.
It might not. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always get Joey the Animan, man. He's only 2 steps from being homeless.
He certainly looks 2 steps from being homeless.
Yeah, he always kind of looks like he doesn't have a place to be. He looks like he's always going somewhere, if that makes sense.
He is always going
a little
somewhere.
bit, yeah.
It's the great disdain of myself, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, I didn't realize your homelessness was contagious.
See, I didn't know that either, but I'm learning this now, and suddenly I feel like I need to quarantine again.
Yeah.
I need to quarantine so that my homelessness doesn't infect other people, because clearly something's happening here, and I don't like it.
You've also got an epic beta virus, so...
Oh, shit.
I'm just kidding. That was mean.
How dare you? Bad. Only Zeke's allowed to make fun of me like that. No.
Your teeth are ugly.
See, that's what I expect. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm anticipating.
That's bold statements only on bakagaijinshow.
Yeah. Welcome to the Baka Gaijin show, where we tell you what you didn't already know.
Such as my teeth being fucking horrible.
Yeah. I don't wish the sight upon anyone, honestly.
Haha, funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a jigsaw puzzle that a toddler tried to assemble with a hammer.
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice. Could we just gang up on Kevin for the next 3 hours?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
But we haven't even introduced the third person who's talking yet.
I just said he was Serodin.
Oh, also, did you?
Yeah, they dragged me out of my homelessness, gave me a computer to talk at, and here I am.
Yeah. That's what happens. That's how it goes.
Very happy to have you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, thank you. Very mediocre to be here.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
No, it's good to be back. I've been gone for a number of weeks due to a lot of traveling, actually. I can talk about more about that when we go to the what have we been doing stage.
Yeah. This is what we like to call the pleasantry stage.
It's not very pleasant.
I didn't name the phenomenon. I'm not sure what the etymology behind that is. Kevin, engage in pleasantries.
I'm just waiting for y'all to I'm just here, all right?
Yeah. No, you can talk. You're one of those co-host type things.
Oh shit, right, I am. Fuck.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I forget that.
Yeah, your job is to do more. Like, you're not just the editor, you're also a contributor with the vocally.
I'm the editor. I'm the tech guy. I contribute to the actual show. What else do I do?
I'll tell you what you don't do. Go to the dentist.
Oof.
Oh, burn.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 2:30 already? Because I think Kevin needs to go to the dentist.
Stop! Stop! God damn it!
Too fruity.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Thank you. Thank you. I get it.
That's a joke ripped straight from Family Guy when they were making fun of Robin Williams for not being funny. Imagine Seth MacFarlane saying that. Imagine Seth MacFarlane making a joke about Robin Williams not being funny.
I mean, he doesn't write every episode, so.
In fact, as of the recent seasons, he doesn't write any episodes.
Yeah. They never had a movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we giving Seth's vocal cords a break today?
They never had a movie. Even Bob's Burgers had a movie now.
Bob's Burgers had a movie. The Simpsons had a movie. South Park had a movie. Where's your movie, Family Guy?
They did put out a DVD called The Movie, but it's actually just a compilation cut.
Yeah.
You can't trick me. I know there's no... I'm a master of Family Guy lore. I know there's no such movie. Pull the rug out from under me.
That's the thing that just like keeps me going on Family Guy, is that there's actually a deep lore at this point, and it's really fascinating to see all of it play out in the most absurd way humanly possible.
Yeah, like, did you know Peter died and he's been replaced by a vanilla ice cream cone? Well, not cone.
Which cutaway was that? Which season?
It wasn't even a cut. It wasn't even a cutaway. It was like recently. He got he was killed and replaced by a sentient clone made out of ice cream.
Okay, you say recently, but that was like in the last 8 years.
No, it was like in the last 3 seasons or so.
I missed that episode. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I've watched every episode. I've missed that episode. How did I miss that episode?
Yeah, it's like the thing.
Well, then
where,
you haven't seen every episode, then have you?
Yeah, he was like a giant block of ice cream. He was like frozen, like the Han Solo pose.
Oh, I remember this now. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, but then like the chef Peter was actually like made of ice cream, so it was like
the ice cream clone.
Yeah. Not to be confused with his evil brother, Clarence, I think. Or to be confused with his hairless twin he keeps in the shed out back. Which also killed and replaced him at one point, so... You know.
How many replacement Peters are we on now? 3, 4?
Oh, there was also that time where...
surgery for that.
There was also Retep, that time he held his arm out of the car and it got hit by a sign, and then the arm grew into a new Peter with an inverted color scheme, and he just goes, "I am Retep, and I am evil."
What the fuck is Family Guy?
We don't know. We don't freaking know.
Have the writers just given up?
I think the writers are so high on hookers and blow at all times that they don't really give a shit anymore. And it's kind of amazing in its own way. Like, yeah, the humor isn't concise and expertly executed anymore. The show is just like absurdist comedy at all times because they don't have a direction to move in. They go in every direction at all times.
But for better or for worse, it makes it interesting.
They have a lot of new writers since the last few seasons, and I think these new writers grew up with Family Guy, and now they're like, haha, we're writing Family Guy. And so they have that kind of, haha, we're writing Family Guy energy, you know, where it's like, they just have fun with it. They have fun with it in a way like the previous, that middle rut of seasons.
So what you're saying is we're watching professionally produced Family Guy fan fiction at this point.
I think that's true for any sitcom that goes on long enough, is that eventually you're going to hire people who grew up with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
What are we on? I think, what are the Simpsons on? Like generation 3 of Simpson fans?
Yeah, like 3 or 4, because it's at like season, 33, 34 now? Jesus Christ.
Family Guy is in season 20, I think.
Yeah. To be fair to Family Guy, though, it got canceled twice, so...
Oh, yeah, so it has that in common with Futurama.
Yeah. You can't keep a good horse down, they say.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly that everything that tries to replace it is just a shameless knockoff and without any of the things that makes Family Guy special.
Yeah.
That or actual character development.
Then it's like, you know, even if they have like the argument for replacing it is like well, it still does well. So like if they have another good sitcom, it's like, well, now we have two good sitcoms. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, American Dad lasted for a while, but it was
It's still going.
Oh, is American Dad still going? Holy crap!
Yeah, it goes. It doesn't have
I never
seasons.
see ads for it.
Yeah, well, it is on TBS. It doesn't have. It has a bit of a slower production cycle. Like I don't think they do a season every year anymore, but they do. Yeah, they're still trucking along. I have heard the the initial when they first moved to TBS. I heard those initial seasons were rough, but then they've gotten better since. I've heard. I will still maintain that like the first like 7, 8-ish seasons of American Dad are probably the best McFarlane material.
I have no say in this matter. I don't have a horse in this race. I don't know much about Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
He's really funny when he has other writers working with him. He's not very funny when he writes everything himself.
Yeah.
Look at.
Okay, to be fair, I've heard Ted is pretty good.
I like Ted. I like Ted and Ted too.
A Thousand Ways to Die in the West is one of those projects that he had complete creative control over, and it's not very good.
It's also a million ways to die in the West.
Oh well, who the fuck cares?
I mean, that's way more ways to die. That's exponentially more ways to die in the West.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is your torment will last a lot longer. Because significantly more ways to die.
Yeah, but regardless, like, that was a project where Seth had total creative control, and it clearly showed that he's not the best showrunner or the best show writer, or just writer in general when he doesn't have somebody to help critique his work.
People are fucking loving the Orville, though.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I mean, to be fair with the Orville, admittedly, a lot of people will agree that early season 1 was pretty rough, and that's when he was like being forced to make it more of a situational comedy than a sci-fi show.
Yeah.
But as he worked on the series going forward, he was able to develop the science fiction elements of it more, develop characters, drama, and by season 3, it's basically just Star Trek with the serial numbers filed off.
Yeah, which, considering what actual Star Trek has become in recent decades, it's exactly what a lot of people want.
Interestingly, I've heard Strange New Worlds is really, really good, but that might just be because it saw what the Orville was doing and was like, fuck, we should do that too.
I can't wait for the generation of people that call any good new Trek an Orville clone.
We might be in that timeline. We might be.
I mean, Picard is pretty much fucking terrible. And which is really a shame that Patrick Stewart gets to go out on such a low note, because this will probably be his last acting job as far as shows go.
I like how Mike Stucklosa, he did not hate Obi-Wan, but it might just be because Picard has lowered his expectations so far.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there are lots of people, the people defending Star Trek, there are lots of people who also defend the new Star Wars trilogy who are Star Wars fans because they can't grapple with the idea that anything they love would be terrible. Yeah. So, and the new Star Wars trilogy is a dumpster fire.
I've always been of the opinion that most of Star Wars is not great.
No, most Star Wars is very, very mediocre. They have had like they had like 2 or 3 really solid movies. And then the rest has either been mediocre or just straight terrible.
Yeah, but it's a fun universe for creative people to work in, so you get a lot of like very interesting like offshoot projects.
Oh yeah, some of the books are fantastic.
Yeah, and some of the games, and I'm assuming it's kind of I'm going to assume it's kind of like Warhammer in that way, where like it's very expansive and like a lot of it might not be great, but some of it hits,
Yeah.
It's just a universe to play in at this point.
Yep. But that's the same thing with Star Trek, is that it's got a very well-defined and expansive universe, literally universe. Yeah. It's you can do lots of stuff with it. But that doesn't mean that everything done within that universe is as good as the universe itself. Like, I heard what is the new? Am I the only one who didn't hate Star Trek Beyond as much as other people did? Like, I definitely agree that it was the weakest of the Abrams films, or even though it wasn't directed by Abrams, it was the weakest of that trilogy by far. But I didn't think it was a terrible movie, and a lot of people thought it was a terrible movie, and I was like, no, it was fine. It just wasn't great.
I feel like a lot of people don't primarily dislike it, like, from a stylistic standpoint, because it's a Star Trek movie directed by the guy who made the Fast and the Furious. So,
yeah, it is definitely more of a Star Wars film where it's much more focused on the but then again, the JJ films were always that. They were always more focused on the adventure and the action than they were.
I think it like progressively got more of that though.
Yeah, no, it definitely got way more of that in the new film. But like again, maybe I just don't care enough about Star Trek, but maybe that's a good thing. Yeah. It's like I don't care that much about Star Wars, so I was able to enjoy at least The Force Awakens. I don't enjoy the other two films because mechanically they're terrible films. But I didn't care enough about Star Wars to really say, oh, this is a disservice to Star Wars, or oh, this is like a great Star Wars film, because I just sat there and enjoyed it as a film. Both franchises are honestly very overrated. Like, the 70s Star Trek is literally just watching a mid-20s William Shatner fuck everything with 3 titties. While punching dudes in cheap Godzilla suits. Like, that is the entire show. Congratulations. It does have some moments.
And yet I feel like we need more of that in today's age.
I feel like we need more media that just takes liberties and does wild shit like that.
Yeah, I think we need more titty fucking and more Godzilla suit punching. That's my platform.
I mean, yeah, because that kind of, I mean, going back to Family Guy, that is literally what Family Guy is does wild shit and gets away with it. Sure. So just make it happen.
I'm just remembering the tweet where someone told me how so someone was tweeting, was like, I was told how sexless modern media is, and I didn't believe them until I went back and watched classic Star Trek, where every 4th episode is about Kirk banging some alien chick. And now I think we could probably use more of that.
Yeah, no, like, classic Star Trek, like, up through TNG is pretty fucking horny, actually. Like that's one of the biggest elements of classic Star Trek is just, like, there's one character in TOS, it's Captain Kirk. In TNG, it's Riker, where everybody just wants to bone them, and there's, like, at least 3 episodes every season where the entire plot is basically just everybody's horny and everybody wants to fuck.
The reason they made it the first officer in TNG was because the biggest complaint about the original Star Trek was that no commanding officer would ever be allowed to get that much ass and go on that many away missions. In an actual military setting. So,
in fact, Riker's entire character was made because like executives were worried that like Picard wouldn't catch on with people. He was too stoic.
He was too stoic, and he also wasn't pretty enough. Well, Riker was very pretty.
Yeah, so they had Riker as like a Kirk-like backup, just to sort of like, you know, maintain that same audience, I guess.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, that is exactly why Picard is the superior officer. But you know, that's an argument for a different day.
Yeah.
Kirk is a better cowboy than he is an officer. Picard is an actual military officer.
Also, have you seen Jonathan Frakes' beard?
It's fantastic.
That is a man's beard.
You ever seen the first season where he doesn't have one and it's kind of creepy?
Yeah.
The beard really helped.
He's solely responsible for the growing the beard trope.
This is fun.
It's actually amazing how many TV tropes are just directly from Next Generation.
Yeah, Next Generation Next Generation either codified or ended up like inspiring a lot of like modern tropes. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Well, I kind of just feel it's more that like the original like tropers were like just huge Next Generation fans. So
I mean, you know, Next Generation, Firefly, Battlestar Galactica, like a lot of those 90s to early 2000s sci-fi things.
Yeah. Well, if you think of like early 2000s nerds, that would make a website dedicated to tropes, you got to think, what are they into at that time? And it's probably Next Generation.
Yeah, that, like, again, that,
And
Firefly
Buffy,
and Babylon. Buffy.
Buffy.
Yeah,
TV Tropes started as a Buffy fan site, didn't it?
No, I think that was a different website, but Buffy was definitely like a very early focus of TV Tropes.
One of these fucking websites started as a Buffy fan site. Which is interesting to me, how that happens. It's like how Naruto started as a Familiar Zero fan site. For like, it was literally a site for Familiar Zero fan fiction.
And it just kind of spun off into, hey, publish your novel for free here and maybe it'll get picked up by a publisher.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that's our perspective bias. I mean, there's millions of things on the website that never will.
Yeah, true. Well, that's why I said maybe.
The word maybe is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
That's the point.
That's like me telling you maybe will win the lottery.
Oh, good. The new Ruby series is actually on Crunchyroll, too. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for Rooster Teeth. Good. Thank God.
Yeah. Yes. Although I'm assuming Volume 9 will probably be first. We'll have a like week first on first deal.
I mean, that's fine with me. I what I ended up doing with last season was just waiting till it all came out and then binged it.
Yeah.
Which, I get that the writing's shit, but their ability to build tension is still top-notch in that show.
I don't even agree with the first half of that.
Yeah, I think the writing is a lot better than people give it credit for. It's not perfect, but, I mean, it's like... I think people are far too critical of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually think... I don't really have many issues with moment-to-moment writing. I think it's mostly just, like... my main critiques with it are mostly just like very old ingrained world building things that they just can't change at this point. So, like,
yep,
you know, but like actually like moment to moment like character writing and stuff, I don't really have a problem with that. I think it's pretty good.
No, I think it's fine. I have thoroughly enjoyed Ruby as a series, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And at some point, I'm going to get Kevin Faulkner to fucking watch this show with me.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
You
I'm
can binge
watch
the entire
Maybe not
first
with
season
you.
in like 3 hours. You can binge the entire first season in like less than 3 hours, and then the subsequent seasons in just as much time. Like,
yeah, the seasons of Ruby are basically just slightly long movies.
Yeah, that's really it. So
yeah, I like having Serodin on the show. We can twice as much bully Kevin into doing things.
I know, right? It's wonderful.
Oh, it's great.
Oh man. So what's everybody been up to?
Right, nice.
I got stories.
Look at he's already great at transitioning. Look at this.
I was about to do that too.
I am a good doggo.
Yeah, Serodin, we're so proud of you specifically.
Dog,
and not another person.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oof.
Well, Kevin, if you're so offended, why don't you go first to tell us what you've been up to?
Oh no, please don't go first with me. My week has been fucking garbage.
Let's get it out of the way then.
I have just been looking after children. I have been helping with packing. I have been doing all this because I'm moving soon, and I have just been doing so many boring menial tasks.
He's moving to my neck of the woods, so I can bully him directly now.
Oh fuck!
I'm so jealous, actually, now that I think about it.
Damn it, I forgot. Serodin's within car driving distance of me now. Fuck.
And unlike Cube, I actually have a car.
You do. It's a very nice car, by the way.
Thank you.
Cube doesn't bully him though. That's the thing.
That's because they're dating.
Yeah. Well,
which she's doing it wrong. Because if you date somebody, you should bully them twice as hard.
Exactly. You're doing it wrong, Kevin. You got the boring kind of dating where you don't bully each other.
Right.
Well, okay. You do realize Cube listens to this show on their work days, right?
That's why we're doing this.
You don't think I give a? You think I give a fuck?
That's what we're doing.
There's like 3 members of KFP who have actually listened into this podcast, by the way. So I have increased your viewership by 3 people. How do you feel about that?
Oh shit!
That's more people than Kevin's.
I have to be very careful about how I talk about my trip to Germany when we get to that point.
Oh no!
Oh no!
See, what a boon for us Serodin has been, Kevin.
He has been a friendship.
I'm kidding. I don't know if you know this, but Kevin has been here for 81 episodes.
I've been here a while.
It's more than 37.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I'll let it slide this time. This is the one budget exceedance I will allow.
Well, all right then.
I mean, we can't apply that logic to everything. Otherwise, every podcast would have to end at 37 minutes, and that's just not enough for me.
Yeah, no. Like, I would have to turn it off in 7 minutes, which that's just not enough.
Yeah, Andrew's got a full-time job. I mean, we got to give him content to listen to.
True.
I have a full-time job too.
Yeah.
I work 12-hour shifts 4 days a week. It fucking blows.
Yeah.
But man, the money's good.
And at least you have Saturdays off.
I have Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anything else about your miserable week, Kevin?
I just wanted to point out that, like, him saying I'm helping packing when he's the one packing to move is a weird way to say that.
My family is also like moving, so I'm also helping with the packing for them as well. So
everyone just really hates that house.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad house, but like the reason why we're moving is it's a logistical problem because like one person who did live here no longer lives here, and that's like we can't afford the monthly rent as much as we were able to previously. And we're not going to be able to renew the lease come July, which is in a week, I might add. So we need to get the hell out of Dodge. So
everyone abandon ship.
Pretty much. Ash, my sibling, is going to take their family and they're going to move their happy asses back to Arizona where family is. But here's the thing.
Oh.
I have already moved cross-country from Arizona to Kentucky, and I don't want to go back. So
it's really hot there.
It is very hot. So what I'm doing is I have found a place that is on this side of the fucking country, closer to, my friends and also my other sibling, Sama, who lives in Michigan. And I'm just going to enjoy my happy life up here instead of daring to have another, 3, 4, however many days cross-country hellish road trip where I am just sat in a car for 12, 13, 14 hours at a time with 3 screaming children directly in front of me. I'm not doing that. I'm so not fucking doing that.
I mean, you could always, chop them in the neck and knock them out like a 90s action movie.
Yeah. I mean, I've been suggesting similar things.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you people?
Children exist. That's what's wrong with me.
I think it's just funny to picture you doing child abuse. Honestly.
I'm gonna have to say no, it's not very funny to picture it for me personally, since it's me.
Right. Yeah. But
then degrees of separation.
Yeah. We only grant you 3/5 the right to an opinion. So
only 3/5 of the rights.
Yeah. So you're outvoted even when it's just us two, and now it's good luck, buddy.
But yeah, my week has been fucking garbage. So what the hell have y'all been up to, for the love of God? Please let it be more interesting than what I've been doing.
Craig did his taxes.
Oh.
So that is somehow more interesting than what I've been doing.
And productive.
Yeah.
Also true.
Damn, Kevin, you're getting outdone by Craig.
I'm
Craig's a
being
robot.
outdone by a robot.
Yeah. Part of the it's the comedy. I haven't done. No, actually, now I think about it, I actually did a lot. I played games mostly. I got through They Always Run, the space bounty hunter platformer. Pretty good. A little unbalanced in places, a little Euro janky, but pretty good. And then I wasn't done with my side scroller itch, so I bought Flynn Son of Crimson, and I went through that. Reddit told me that was going to be mid. I actually had a lot of fun with that. I think that's a very tight little, well-designed sort of action platformer.
Reddit told me, well, your first problem was listening to Reddit.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you been on this show? We listen to Reddit a lot.
Okay, but mostly it's just to make fun of them.
Yeah, well, it takes all kinds. But that was really fun. Now I've been I decided I wanted to start a new True Ending Hollow Knight run before Silksong comes out. So I've been doing that. And I also just last night, because Dead Cells had their big accessibility patch with like modular difficulty scaling and stuff, which has always been my complaint about that game, is that like I don't have enough time to commit to it to get good enough for the higher tiers of like content and stuff. So like having some adjustable metrics actually makes the game a lot more enjoyable for me. So I played a little bit of Dead Cells last night. I'm just waiting for the fucking Overwatch 2 beta, honestly, which is coming on Tuesday, and I got the Watch Point pack, so I have guaranteed access to that. So that's gonna be fun. Other than that, not a whole lot. I did some writing, but I'm not ready to publish that yet.
I found a meme on Twitter where it's like, Naruto, we can't resort to violence. We need to protest peacefully, and above all else, get out and vote. One Piece, I will burn this system to the fucking ground.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Naruto's thing is also Naruto's thing is also going about it the wrong way. They don't burn the system; they just kill families.
Yeah. Also, I don't think anyone in Naruto votes. You ever notice how every Hokage got their position through nepotism?
They really did. They really. The only reason Naruto became Hokage is because his dad was Hokage before him. Yeah. It's like once everybody realized, oh shit, Naruto's the son of a Hokage, it's like, okay, he can have it now. People!
I'm just referencing the Gripes video again, but I've never seen a series with as broken a moral as Naruto. Because Naruto's entire moral is how hard work pays off, and then the entire series demonstrates how hard work doesn't fucking work, and you have to be born special or inherit something special or steal something special. Like, it's actually amazing. It's actually amazing how consistently and thoroughly the series debunks and breaks its own moral. It's worthy of academic study, is what it is.
Kiara's asking us whether or not she should tip at a buffet because she's not used to how things are done in America, and I'm just like, you should not tip at a buffet literally ever.
No. Well, I mean, like, you're not being waited on at a buffet, so
yeah, she just isn't sure, because like in Japan you don't tip at all.
Yeah, I mean, who would you even?
Well, yeah, in Japan they actually pay their workers a decent fucking wage.
Well, and then the societal concept is the idea behind it is that everybody's supposed to be doing their best job all the time, so tipping somebody based on their performance isn't necessary.
Yeah.
Some people do tip if they got exceptionally good service, but it's usually quiet. It's not left on the table for other workers to see. It's usually handed to them in a small envelope or wrapped up in a napkin.
Yeah, mafia style.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Get yourself something nice.
Go out and treat yourself.
Have a rat chew that mole off your face.
Yeah. Have some of that ridiculously cheap convenience store food.
Hey, that shit slaps. I've had Japanese convenience store food. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah, I know. I didn't mean cheap isn't bad. I meant cheap isn't cheap.
Speaking of cheap, she also visited a Walmart while in the US for the first time, and she was like, that was an interesting experience. I'm never going back. I was like, yep, sounds about right.
Relatabray.
It's alright.
What the fuck?
Somebody misspelled in the Microsoft Poly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn it, Craig.
Anyway, I'm done, so why don't you tell us what you've been up to?
Well, I've been traveling a lot. So 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago now, Jesus, it's been 3 weeks already. So 3 weeks ago, I traveled to Germany, for a weekend. And the weekend after that, I went to a wedding in Detroit, for my cousin. Coincidentally, both my cousin and myself seem to have an affinity for chasing women across Germany.
Strange.
Yeah.
No, keep going.
So yeah, trip to Germany. So I went to go see a VTuber, Takanashi Kara from Hololive English. She was appearing at a convention, virtually called Dokomi. It's Germany's largest anime convention. It's only a 2-day con, which I thought was weird. Most American cons are 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Which
is weird for all the time off we don't get.
Yeah. But Dokomi is only a 2-day convention. But she was doing a streamed concert on Saturday. And then there was a meet and greet event, where if you won the lottery and got one of the special tickets, you could basically get locked in a room alone and virtually talk to her, like over Skype or whatever, for a couple of minutes and just do whatever. And then if you actually won that, you actually got a signed postcard from her, with your name on it and everything. So I actually have that hanging on my wall right now because I did get to the meet and greet event. I was one of the lucky ones. Probably a couple hundred people entered that, and only about 50 people won. So I am extremely lucky that I got that opportunity. And then after that, there was a panel, which was all in German, but thankfully I had a German-speaking guy next to me who was willing to translate everything that she and everybody else was saying. Yeah. So I actually enjoyed that panel very much. But yeah, I traveled to Germany for that express reason. I was hanging out with a bunch of people from the fan club too. Met a lot of really nice people. Her fan club is fantastic for the most part. There's a couple of bad eggs, no pun intended, but for the most part, they're excellent human beings. Very nice, very easy to talk to, very welcoming. And we actually, on Friday, we met in the big park next to the convention center called Nord Park, and we actually exchanged snacks because there were some guys from Finland, there were guys from Sweden, there were guys from Korea, there were guys from Japan, there were guys from the US, basically from all over who came to see her, and we did a snack exchange where we all shared snacks and stuff from like our resident countries and stuff. And then after basically the appetizer, a bunch of us decided to go to a restaurant. She had personally recommended. So Dusseldorf, which is where the convention took place, has like a very large Japanese population. It's actually one of the largest Japanese populations outside of Japan in any individual city, if not the largest. And so they have like a little Tokyo there. It's not actually like little Tokyo, like it's not all done up like, some, Hollywood. It's not like little China or LA. It doesn't look like that.
They don't have a tiny replica of the Sky Tree.
No, they don't. So it just looks like normal buildings, but it's like wall to wall Japanese restaurants, markets, clothing stores, and manga shops, things like that.
Does it look like normal buildings, or does it look like normal German buildings?
It looks like normal like buildings because globalism.
Right, of course.
So, yeah, it's not really in the historical part. They even have a Nikko Hotel, which is a Japanese hotel chain that, to my knowledge, other than a few very sparse locations, only exists in Japan. So that was kind of cool. I was not staying at the Nikko Hotel. I was staying at a small bed and breakfast called Hotel Festhaus across the Rhine River from there. Very nice little place. That part was actually in a historic neighborhood. So And it was thankfully about 1 kilometer from the nearest train station, so I didn't get woken up by trains all the time. It was very nice. And I got to have, they had a continental breakfast in the morning, which was like a German style breakfast. Very good. Lots of, they don't believe in toast over there, which I thought was interesting. They don't really do toast.
Now.
They do breakfast rolls or croissants and stuff. But that was fine. And then they had, instead of bacon, they had like prosciutto and pancetta and a bunch of other fancy, and then German sausage.
Yeah, of course.
Which, if you've ever had German sausage, it's hard as a rock, but it's delicious. But like you need a sharp knife to cut that shit. But yeah, that was really cool. I paid like €9 for a train pass and got free access using that one pass for the entire weekend to every bus and train in the city. So yeah, at the risk of starting the "Where are our trains in America" argument, where are our trains in America? This shit slaps. Got to get on that, America. So, but yeah.
See, Zeke over here has been banging the "Where are the trains" drum for like a few years now.
I was afraid was going to happen. See, this is why I didn't want to bring it up. But yeah, no. Honestly, great. And most of the people there spoke English, or at least enough that I could ask directions and stuff without an issue. Not everybody on the street did, but anybody in any kind of position of authority or running a business basically knew enough English to converse with me. Except the gas station attendant. He did not understand what I meant, but when I said I wanted to buy cigarettes. And so I just looked over at the title of one of the cigarette boxes, and I was like, Pueblo. And he was like, oh, cigarettes. And I was like, yeah, you fucking idiot. He even said cigarettes to me. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. But that was fun. But yeah, so Friday was fun. We all decided to go out to serve yakiniku, which had been personally recommended by Kiara to a lot of her fans. And then something funny there happened. I was sitting at a table of 8 people, and we were all surrounded by the little grill, and we all had our plates of food. And then one of my Twitter guy, or one of the guys from Twitter, I'll be fine. Don't worry. I'm not going to say what happened. I'm just going to say something funny happened. But he got up from his table to go to the restroom or whatever, and he comes back apparently looking kind of like a ghost. And I was like, what just happened? And let's just say he ended up seeing someone there that he didn't expect. He confirmed that it was her, that it was the person he was thinking of, because after sitting down at his table, that person was staring at him like 3 tables over repeatedly. So she knew. So that was kind of funny. If you aren't catching the subtext here, then educate yourself better. Yeah, no. So that was pretty funny. That we ended up running into her there. But then Saturday came along. Concert was great. We were all being giant Wotake nerds with glow sticks and everything. There's footage of that online if you want to see me embarrass myself with glow sticks. It's fantastic.
This man went absolutely like way harder than he should have with the glow sticks. He is very obvious.
Well, when I was talking to Kiara in the meet and greet, I told her, I was like, I used to look down on this kind of stuff because, like, you know, the hugely negative stigma that comes with idol fans, and she wouldn't even let me finish the set.
Oh, okay. I thought you were anti-glow stick for a second. I was like,
no. I was
just strong opinions about that.
Anti-idol fandom stuff because, like, you know, the hugely negative stigma that comes with idol fans.
So me, basically.
Yeah. So, but then she didn't even let me finish the set, and she was just like, "But it's fun, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." I see why people know. Like, I had a hard time. I had to grit my teeth to say it, but I was like, yeah, it's kind of fun. And she was like, see all the things I've gotten you to do now? And I was like, yeah. That woman has a vice grip over me, I swear to God. But she was fun to talk to. She's very welcoming, easy to talk to, very friendly. I don't want to read too much into it, but I had the impression she thinks very highly of me. And a lot of her fans, honestly.
I just can't get over used to be a me. This is deep Serodin lore.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
this is what we refer to as character development, Zeke.
Yeah. It was, but yeah, the Wotage was fun. Talking to her was fun. She said I was very confident during the thing. So what was really funny is there was actually an administrative screw up at the convention. Apparently emails were supposed to go out to everybody for the meet and greet for 2 different times. 1 hour each for time slots, and you got about 2 to 3 minutes to talk to her individually, which, you know, doesn't sound like much, but if you look at actual idol events when they do that kind of stuff, like you're lucky to get 30 seconds. So it's actually a pretty big deal. But you know, they're also trying to pack in as many people as possible. But apparently an administrative error happened, and only 3 or 4 people got the email for the first time slot, and then everybody else was distributed the time slot for the second time. So it was just me and 3 other guys at the first time slot, and which I thought was pretty funny. And so we actually got a little bit of extra time with her, so that was fun. And then she stayed late to make sure that everybody during the second time slot got to actually talk about stuff. The cool thing about Kiara is that after this weekend, I especially have no doubt that she is absolutely as enamored with her fans as we are with her. She comes from very humble backgrounds and has worked a lot of. She worked many years in these kinds of industries with absolutely no fans, performing in front of empty concert boxes and stuff, like literally that scene from Love Live where the girls do their first performance and they give it their all, but there's like one person in the crowd. She has literally done that, but with no crowd. So she is absolutely ecstatic and just absolutely in love with the fact that she has fans that give a shit about her now. So, and then I kind of want to talk about what happened on Sunday. And in fact, I'm going to talk about what happened on Sunday. So if you're for some bizarre reason a KFP member who has listened to this and you aren't interested in hearing forbidden knowledge, then turn off the podcast now. Don't actually do that. Yeah. So if you aren't interested in forbidden knowledge, then I am about to talk about forbidden knowledge, as we call it.
Son of a bitch, I was muted. Skip to the timestamp on screen. Anyway.
That's really funny. He just went on this whole thing.
Motherfucker.
For those playing at home, he went on this whole thing about like, oh yeah, I'll set up a timestamp and everything, make sure everybody knows, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then he's just like, God damn it, I was muted. That was fun.
Oh, that's going to be just dead air, Kevin.
I hate myself right now so fucking much.
That's okay. I hate you too. It's fine.
Yeah, we all do.
But so yeah, forbidden knowledge stuff incoming. If you don't want to hear it, turn off the stream now, but or skip to the timestamp. But so if you know anything about Kiara's Alt, she's a professional cosplayer, and Dokumi is one of her favorite conventions that she used to go to way before she was doing all the VTuber stuff. And she decided that she wanted to show up on Sunday once her work as Kiara has been done, and see if any fans wanted to meet her in person. So I show up to the park at and she always likes to hang out at North because that's what a lot of cosplayers do. It's a very scenic park, so it's a great place to take cosplay photos and stuff. I showed up at like 9:30 in the morning to the park and just kind of followed her tweets. She was keeping us updated on when she would be there. Ran into a couple of the other KFP guys there. We all started searching for her, and eventually, like Nord Park has this big thoroughfare that comes from the train entrance. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's probably coming with a large group. She actually didn't, but that was my thought process. For safety and because she wants to hang out with her friends who come to this convention too. So she'll probably be in a large group, so they're probably not going to take Ubers here. They're probably going to arrive by train. So I waited by the entrance by the train station. There's like 5 entrances to the place. And I told the other guys to just search other parts of the park. And I'm sitting there perched on top of the large fountain, kind of like, or perched on a ledge near the large fountain, surveying. And I actually see 2 people. One guy, it's a guy holding an umbrella, and then a woman in a white bonnet. And I'm looking over there, and I'm like, that's not, because I know what she looks like. And she, I couldn't see the woman's face because the bonnet was kind of covering it. She was wearing a blue cosplay from Arknights. I don't actually play Arknights, so I didn't recognize the character. I just know the aesthetic.
No actual human being does, I'm sure.
I mean, I think Arknights actually has a fairly large player base, but you know, I don't really know anything about it. But so I think the character was Asticia, is what she told me. But I didn't recognize her. So she comes up to the stairwell to me. She apparently recognized me from when I was standing, because I had just seen her the day before at the meet and greet, or at least she had seen me. and she kind of walks up to me with her assistant, and she kind of waves at me, and she's like, "Hello," and I look at her, and I'm like, she's not, and I still can't see her face very well because of the umbrella, and I'm like, and I say to myself, that's not her, she must be waving at somebody else, so I go back and keep looking.
This is a fucking anime moment. I just want.
I swear to God, it's such a dense protagonist moment. But then she walks a little bit closer, and she's like, "Hello, Jero," which is my nickname in the fandom. She's like, "Hello, Jero," and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, it's her. And I just ignored her. So I take off. It's raining at this point, so I take off my poncho and I walk over to her. And she gets up right in my face and starts talking to me about a bunch of stuff, confides a few things in me about how the afternoon's going to go, and some things she's concerned about. And I said, those are all reasonable. I made fun of her for the restaurant incident the 2 nights before. I said, next time you want to show up to a restaurant, don't tell half your fan base to show up on the same weekend. And she was like, look, I just wanted some fucking yakiniku. Is that so much to ask? So she was very fun to talk to, very kind. And I was able to give her a gift that I had that I couldn't give to her at Kiara, obviously, because it's a sketch of her as real self. She actually stated that I drew her prettier than she actually is. And I kind of I laid it on thick a little bit. I looked at her and said, from where I'm standing, that's a hell of a compliment. From where I'm standing, I don't think that's possible. Which got her to avert her gaze a little bit, which I thought was just fantastic. But for those of you who don't know, I'm a giant. I don't care who you are. But no, it was a good interaction. We must have talked for probably close to 8 minutes. She gave me some signed prints of some old photo shoots she did, and put them in an envelope for me. And then some of the other guys started showing up at some point, and we all probably stood around her for about an hour or so, and just got to talk with her candidly. And of course, everybody else was like, donating stuff, getting stuff like getting prints and stuff like that. So it's getting late in the day, and I have to leave the next day to catch my flight. And I still have to get a COVID test. I couldn't do it earlier because the COVID test has to be taken between 1 and 2 days before, and I was too busy the day before. Yeah. So I was like, all right. And the next day was actually a German holiday. So I wasn't able to get the COVID test until that day. So it's getting late, and they're still talking and everything, and I want to stick around, but I had to go get a COVID. So I start, and I've had my time alone with her. So I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I've gotten to meet her. This is pretty awesome. I got some. That's all I could really ask for. So I'm going to head off and get my COVID test. So I just kind of, snuck away from the group and started heading off. Well, she must have seen me sneaking off because she was in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and then she turns over to me and looks at me walking away, and she's like, Jero. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, where are you going? I have to get a COVID test. And she's like, get over here and take a picture with me. And I'm like, and before this, she had stated on Twitter, she's like, if you're going to take photos with me, make sure you have some kind of app that allows us to doctor the footage and stuff, because, I am a professional cosplayer. My job is to always look my best in photos and stuff like that. I don't want a bunch of amateur selfies and stuff showing up on Twitter just because, it makes my brand look bad. Which I understood, from a professional standpoint, that makes perfect sense. And so, but I was like, so I said to her, I was like, I don't have any of the I didn't download any of the apps. And she said, I really don't care. Just get over here and take a picture. And so we took a really nice photo together. Had one of the other guys hold the camera. And then after that, I headed out, took my COVID test, came back, ran into her again, heading back to the convention. At which point, I got to talk to her assistant a bit because she was helping with. She was talking to other fans at the point. I got to talk to her assistant, and her assistant had said, we've done this in years past. Oh, by the way, very important, assistant, not boyfriend. That was the first thing she said to me when she walked in. It's my assistant, not my boyfriend, and I laughed at her. I was like, I don't give a shit. I have no stake in this game. Like, I have no stake in this game. I don't care. I'd be happy for you. And she's like, oh, okay, good. I was like, yeah.
Oh, you're a normal person. All right.
Yeah, I'm not a creep. Yeah, so she but yeah, it was a good experience. And then I got to talk to her one last time before heading off. And then a friend of hers ran up to her like as I was getting ready to head back to the center and said that she was like, was like, hey, she's going to we're going to go to lunch here soon. We're going to go to dinner here soon because it's 5. And so I'm like, okay, I'll head back to the convention. Then she's going to head out. It had been raining the entire day. I'm sure she was. But so I had talked to her assistant, and he had said, like, we've done this in years past, and maybe had 2, maybe 3 fans show up and buy stuff from us. And today we've had over 30 people come see us, and we have almost sold this entire bag of. And he said to me, I was like, I have literally never to be in her. You guys have really made her day, so that was really sweet of him. To say that. So I headed back to the convention center, met up with some of the other, and then we decided to head back to get some dinner at a German beer house because we hadn't eaten any German food. I ate Korean on the first night and then Japanese on the second night. I was like, we haven't gotten any German food. Yeah. And most of the guys in our group are not German. So we went out to a German brew house. And as we're leaving the park, I'm thinking, I told the guys, I was like, right, so she's already gone off. She's already gone off to, go to dinner and stuff. So I don't think she's here, guys. Let's just head off. Well, as we're heading, this is hours later, by the way. So apparently what happened was she had gone to dinner and then came back to the park to look for her. Because as we're heading out, she pops out from behind a car. But she pops out from behind a car and individually just absolutely, like, the best way I can describe it is that the way people simp for VTubers is how she was behaving towards us, which was a really surreal feeling. She was absolutely gushing like the most devoted fan of us that you could possibly understand, you could possibly see.
Which is just like the most adorable thing I can imagine.
Yeah, it especially her. Like, let me tell you, adorable, an understatement. But she, she was simping for us, which was really cute. She individually thanked all of us, and then, said, we have to do this again. This was, like, the greatest experience of my entire career, and I want to see every one of you again. Later on Twitter, a couple days later, she asked to get for us to send her the photos we took with her so that she can save them in a file and remember all of us. Uh-huh. She just the sweetest, most. She has remained extremely humble despite having a fan in the career. And I have no doubt that woman is as in love with her fans as we are. So, but it was just a great little send-off she gave. We joked with her a little bit, and then, said our Auf Wiedersehens as you do in Germany, and then we kind of like walked back to the German beer house in bewilderment. It was like, just happened? Did she just do that? And we were like, yeah, she did. So, as far as fan experiences go, I don't know if anyone's ever had a better somebody that they give a shit about. The fact that she's the one that approached me in the park because she wanted to meet her fans, the fact that she gave us that little send-off, just the fact that she sat there and talked with us for hours on end, just like, very candidly. Like, I cannot imagine other fans having a better experience with somebody that they look up to / admire / have followed for years. So I feel extremely special to have that kind of experience, and I have been doing nothing but bragging about it for about 3 weeks now.
As you should. You have the right.
I was gonna say, I got to meet a Hololiver, something that virtually nobody in this fandom has ever been able to say. And not only that, but she seems to think very highly of us and with us, like, at eye level, like friends. And that's really the thing that impresses me about, a good celebrity can always talk to you at eye level. Yeah. This is one of the things that I really appreciate. Everything I've heard about James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, is that he does that exact thing when you meet him. Yeah. Like, he does not carry himself as high and mighty. He carries himself. He can absolutely shake your hand, look at you at eye level, and just talk to you. So that's something that this girl can do. Really appreciate. And it was just the best, most positive experience. But anyway, my trip, I went to dinner, said goodbye to everybody because I flight home completely uneventful. Just went completely according to plan. None of my flights were delayed either direction, because everything I've heard about Delta is that it's just flight delays, the airline. So it was really shocking to me that none of But that was my trip to Germany. It was pretty awesome. Ate a lot of good food, saw some great places, met some cool people, got a pretty cool fan interaction. And then after, and I guess this is the point where the time step can come back. And then after that, the week after that, as I'm exhausted and still suffering from jet lag, I had to go to a wedding. And at the wedding, I found out that my cousin had proposed to his wife, or his fiance, by chasing her to Germany. She was working on she's a journalism major, and apparently she had gone to Germany to work on a project for her final project or whatever. And he surprised her by showing up in Germany and proposing to her, which is a total Chad move. And I'm just sitting here thinking, damn, why didn't I think of that? Should have bought a ring, goddammit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. All jokes aside, I thought we had a really good time. Yeah, I got to see it. Was very. We ate Caribbean food on the first night, Caribbean food is delicious, but it is not filling whatsoever.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go, expect very good flavor and very little.
So are you saying Caribbean?
Caribbean. Did I say Caribbean? My bad.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I was like
that's not correct.
That sounds vaguely similar to a region I've heard of. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been my last couple of weeks, and then last weekend I was just I forget what I was doing. I think I was hanging out with a friend or something. Be here, but yeah. So I've been extremely busy the last couple of weeks. But yeah, on my wall right now are hanged 3 of the most important pieces of signed memorabilia I've ever received in my life, and they will be protected for. So. Until the day I fucking die.
All right.
So, but that has been my experience in Germany. It was fantastic. Would recommend anybody who gets the chance to travel to Europe do it. It'll change your perspective about this country completely.
Mm-hmm.
Especially transport.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people travel and they have such a wonderful time because of public transport, and then they come back here and like there's just cognitive dissonance sets in and they don't realize, wait a minute, we could have that here.
Wait a minute, I hate living in the United States.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people
hate it.
They just don't make that connection.
Oh, downsides to Germany though, water is not free at restaurants.
Yeah.
It's always bottled, and they charge you for refills. And there's no free refills on soda either. At least at none of the 5 restaurants I went to there. Even at McDonald's, there's no free refills.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That being said, everything else at German McDonald's fucking slaps. Their curry sauce is delicious.
Yeah.
And double Big Macs are Kino. I love them.
I'm sorry, did you say double Big Macs?
Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah.
That sounds fucking awesome.
There's occasionally, so McDonald's in America has done those occasionally as a special, but apparently either they were doing a special in Japan, or not Japan, but Germany, or that's just a thing on their menu because it was the #1 meal, double Big Mac. It's just a Big Mac with 2 more pieces of meat on it, and it's fantastic.
Oh, so a good Big Mac.
Yes, so Big Mac made the right way. I found it funny that it was than the American Big Mac because of how much meat was on it. And it was in Germany.
Yeah.
But that was my exciting weekend. Don't expect stories like that too often. I'm a man, and I will be saving up for next year at Dokumi if that's possible. But until then, I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot of
traveling. Yeah. Damn it, I just...
So
no, we're good.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, I drank some lemonade and it went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, careful, don't die.
Okay, but I'm not gonna die from this, you fucking retard. It's not. Alright. Right, sorry. While you were talking, I was listening, by the way. But while you were talking, I was just doing some work. So now I'm shifting back into podcast mode. So yeah, glad you had a great time.
I did.
Yeah. Kevin, I think that's a segment.
Yeah, I think that'll do for the first segment.
Yep. Stay tuned to the Baka Gaijin show. Hey, we're back. It's the
Hello.
3, 4.
Hello.
It's a certain quantity of fucks. That's what we got here. I forgot to. So I was gonna bring up this article in the first half of the show, but I forgot. So I'm doing it now.
Yes,
And
please do. What is the article?
It's known translation pariah Katrina Leonidakis has another fresh, hot, steaming take, fresh off the last controversy, which we didn't cover, but we should have.
Yeah. So, like, TLDR, the previous controversy regarded a manga where, for the English translation, I need to point out that this particular manga, in its original web manga version, actually had the main character's gender, like you know, those like male and female gender symbols, like, you know, the ones like a circle with an arrow or a circle with a cross.
Yeah, the old Greek symbols.
Yeah, so in the original web manga version, the actual title of the manga had the main character's gender as male in the actual title of it. It's not like that in the serialized version, but the original manga was an otokonoko gay romance where the main character is a cross-dresser, and his best friend is like, oh, well, if you're comfortable with it, you can just cross-dress around me. You know, basically giving him a safe space within which to express himself. And he slowly begins to fall in love with his best friend because he's the only person who's letting him express himself freely around him. And the official translation of the first volume or two from Seven Seas changed the main character's gender identity and attempted to rework the story into a trans female coming out story, which is not correct and not accurate at all. And Katrina basically shot her mouth off. Mind you, she's not the translator. She is not involved in this particular project. She just shot her mouth off, being like, I know the translator and I know the localizers, and they went through a lot of research, and
you anti-lock turfs wouldn't understand.
Oh.
Yeah. Basically just calling anybody who disagreed with her and the translator TERFs for being upset that a gay expression manga was being turned into something it wasn't.
As later confirmed by the author and now Seven Seas.
Yeah, so within literally an hour of each other, Seven Seas made a tweet being like, we understand many of your concerns, and we are currently looking into how best to represent this story and the delicate language within it. And the original Japanese publisher made a tweet in both English and Japanese basically saying, any further concerns regarding foreign translations should go through us and not the author, which implies that people went directly to the author of this, and the author got pissed.
Yeah.
So, how's all that research doing you now?
Yeah. So that recap on the last controversy. Now time for this week.
And what is the controversy this week?
Pick one.
This article comes from AnimeHunch.com. Katrina Leodonakis, who is credited as the translator for the Orefueta manga, among other works, was ridiculed on social media for claiming Spy X Family's anime adaptation was only famous in the West due to the stellar translations from the anime's subtitles received.
God.
Quote, putting it out here that Spy X Family wouldn't be half as successful as it is in the West without the absolutely stellar translation by Michelle Timon. She perfectly captures Anya's cute speech, humorous moments, and so much character. Sorry, let's see, capitalize it. And so much characterization. While Leah Donakis was quoting ANN's tweet while making her statement, the article itself notes that the reason why it was so hotly anticipated was because its manga was already hugely popular. Quote,
Yeah.
Spy X Family has been a beloved manga since it first released, so this anime was hotly anticipated, and by and large, it's lived up to every expectation and more, the article reads. The translator went out to point out that despite the anime being such a huge hit, the translators who worked on the subtitles still got paid the same, something she didn't seem to agree with. Quote, Michelle is so talented and so passionate. It's a shame that she doesn't get paid more for the amount of work and skill she's putting in each week for this huge series and more. Yes, we get paid the same whether it's a top series or something very niche. Fine, fair enough. But, you know, replies immediately pointed out, you know, quote, it's probably thanks to the manga being released earlier in the West that made it so loved. Many people watching are fans of the manga. The countless memes before the anime even announced prove Spy X Family was already a guaranteed success. It was obviously a safe hit. What were people expecting?
Yeah, and like the manga already had, like, if you really want to go that direction, you should probably look at the localization of the original manga version first.
Yeah, which is what I was going to get to. Is that it's kind of throwing the manga translator under the bus here, is it not?
Yes, it is.
See,
You
I
know-
actually looked up some stuff regarding like the translation in the manga, and there are a couple of points that the anime hasn't quite gotten to. That like there's one gag in the manga that I'm looking forward to the anime version, where I believe Anya's looking at like a pamphlet or something, and the translation renders it as something like education is the whole enchilada, and she misreads it as education is a swole chihuahua. So,
Yep. And someone, I'm going to continue with the article, someone points out, I read the manga in Spanish and watched the anime with Spanish subs. This stellar translation had nothing to do with the anime's success. The translator also faced backlash for not giving any due credit to the actual mangaka, Tatsuya Endo, or
yeah,
other
that's another
who worked on
thing.
the anime
Like,
adaptation. No, it's okay. I'm not talking or anything. It's fine.
no, go ahead.
No, I'm you can talk now. I'm taking a natural break here where the period is and not before. So, yeah, you can talk now.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, it's not exclusively due to the translation, Katrina. Like, yes, the translation certainly helps people to understand the original material better, but it's really the strength of the original material and the fact that that material already has a proven track record of success. That's why it's popular. That's why people are watching it. It's because the manga was already successful and the material is already really strong. So, like, you're really missing the mark here, girl. Come on.
Someone replied, so the original creator, animators, editors, voice actors, companies, and all other individuals involved with Spy X Family amount to only, I don't know, half of what makes the show popular. With or without your friend, the show would still be popular. This comment only shows your lack of humbleness.
Can I mention that I don't like this person?
Other replies state that Leonidakis was being arrogant, crediting the success of a work to a single person rather than the whole team that was behind the anime. Quote, the arrogance in this is astounding. So many others are involved, and the series gained so much popularity because of its creators. To claim that much responsibility for it rather than being thankful. Someone says, imagine unironically saying an anime would not have been successful if it wasn't for a translator. And
Seriously, though, holy shit.
I want to get to the point behind like this, what I, for lack of a better term, the anti-lock movement, if that makes sense. Yeah, like the
Sure.
the backlash to anti-lock, basically, which I have my own issues with anti-lock, but whatever. Katrina and company is that, like, I feel like what is happening here is that there's a new wave of translators that don't seem to understand their position very well, because it's just the nature of the beast in translation, despite everything, despite the skill it takes and the creativity it takes, and to make a good translation, ultimately you're not a spotlight position. You are a backstage position, and you only stand out when you fuck up. And I understand why that's frustrating, and I understand that despite all the skill that goes into it, the nature of translation is such that if you do your job correctly, you are a basically invisible part of the process.
Yeah, one of the most common things I hear from people within the localization industry who have been here, for the record, since like the late 80s to early 90s. They have been there since like ground zero. The most common thing that a lot of them say is that you can tell when your translation is good when nobody notices it.
Yeah. If all goes right, you're an invisible hand.
Exactly. The reason why translations for so many franchises, like, a really good example is everyone really talks up, the translator for Made in Abyss, Jake Young. But the reason why is because his translation reads very naturally. It is very accurate to the original, and he goes out of his way to try and represent the voice of the original manga creator's writing as much as possible in his actual translation. And the only reason we know that that's a good translation is because there were other translators, people who have been translating the manga in like a fan-made capacity for so long, mentioning, hey, the anime translation is really fucking good. And like, if it weren't for these people, pointing out how good the translation was, who are themselves translators, who are themselves people, on ground zero of the whole thing.
It's that Obama meme where Obama gives himself the Medal of Honor, or gives himself the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, but like, the reason the translations for that and so many other series, like, yeah, I get it. It feels like you're not getting the recognition that you deserve for doing all the work that you're doing for translating this and making it readable or listenable in terms of like an English dub or whatever for a modern audience, for like an American audience. I get it. You probably feel like you're not getting the recognition you deserve, but going out of your way to make your work stand out in a negative way doesn't exactly get you the response you're wanting. Like,
yeah,
there's a good reason why, like, a good example is like, that few years period where Funimation dubs just like, there were just a few writers over at Funimation who kept inserting themselves into the script writing process in ways that were very, very inaccurate to the Japanese version and very intrusive to the experience. The infamous Gamergate Creepshows line from Prison School, the entire scene between Toru and Lukoa in Dragon Maid, where Lukoa complains about societal expectations of women, which is totally against her character, for the record. And of course, literally anything having to do with Danganronpa. But that the reason people spoke up about those is because they were inaccurate. They did not represent the original material, and it was really just the translator or the writer or the localizer or whoever the fuck it was inserting themselves into the material just so that they can get noticed.
Yeah, and like, if you want to get noticed, you're in the wrong career. Like, that's just the nature of the beast. The only people who are going to care and appreciate the craft of translation are basically other translators, and that's just like, if you want to be noticed, write something original. Like I'm just like, for whatever reason, the field of localization has attracted a lot of people that probably shouldn't be there because they are going into it with the complete wrong mindset of trying to basically co-opt the notoriety of whoever's work they're translating, and that's just
they want to make it their own baby, and
that's just disrespectful.
That's not what they're there to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it ends up coming into the problem.
We need you people to be simps for the original creator, not try to steal the show for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, you end up coming into the issue after a point where these people who want to make themselves more recognized for their work are beginning to co-opt other people's experiences and other people's stories for their own games, such as in the case of that Otoko no Ko manga, basically co-opting a gay romance and turning it into a completely different kind of story.
Yeah, it reminds me of the stock cartoon plot where they're putting on a play or something, and a character gets cast as a tree in the background, but they want to be the star, so they're gonna they're gonna do everything in their power as a tree to make sure that they are the thing people are paying attention to, when that is not at all their job, and they are just ruining the show.
Yeah, the job of a localizer, of a translator, is supposed to be a silent one, which is not an indictment of your job, and it's not meant to make your job feel any less important. It's just the nature of your job. You are supposed to represent the original material accurately in a way that is understandable for a foreign audience. That's the entirety of your job. And making yourself more visible in that particular context is only going to be a negative thing, because clearly it means you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, it's that's just notoriety and recognition are completely divorced from how significant or important a job actually is. The maintenance crew on an aircraft is never going to get the same recognition as the pilot. That doesn't mean it's less important. That's just the nature of the job.
Exactly. And if the maintenance crew was, changing things about the plane to make themselves, more visible, it's going to cause problems when you start to fly the fucking plane.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's you can graffiti stuff on the inside. I mean, it's really funny you say that, because in Egypt did that exact thing with their gods' pyramids all the time. They would graffiti the shit out of the inside and leave their on it. But ultimately, if they had ever been found out for such a thing, it's they are not of the ultimate job. You're building somebody else's tomb and you're graffitiing, yo, Marcus was here.
Yo, shout out to Marcus.
Yo, shout out to Marcus.
PSP.
He laid this brick right here.
Mm-hmm.
He
laid the foundation.
It's. I understand that working in a thankless job sucks. I did that for many years, but this is what you signed up to do. So at the end of the day, you should just swallow it and do your job to the best of. Not try to steal somebody else's show for your.
Or if you want, fame, do something else.
Or if you want to work on a project that allows for such commentary that you want to insert into somebody else's, then go find a work to translate that does speak about such commentary.
Yeah,
and then be thrilled that you get to work on such a project, as opposed
to there are so many other projects.
Yeah, there's plenty of Yuri manga where stuff where that kind of commentary would be completely in place, and it probably already exists in some form in the actual manga itself. And so it's if you want to do that kind of stuff and insert the message into it, then there's plenty of work that you can already do with that. You don't have to transform somebody else's for your own clout chasing or for your own message.
Yeah.
Or here's the thing: you translate. You've read a whole lot. Why don't you try writing something yourself?
Yeah.
Translation should not be the place for original. It shouldn't be the place where you insert your own original thoughts. That's not what your job is supposed to be.
Well, anyone this is original thoughts. Interesting.
This is something that I see happening a lot recently in the translation scene is they're just, and oddly enough, it happens a lot over at Seven Seas, but then again, they've got, worker issues over there, so, that's a whole thing. Though at the very least, Seven Seas has now recognized their workers' union, so maybe the shit'll stop. Who knows? But
maybe it'll get worse.
Well, one of the biggest issues is translators being put on works that they don't feel comfortable translating.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's something I want to talk about, is because I feel like that particular thing could really go either way, because that either means we've recognized this is a problem because translators are deliberately changing or removing things they don't agree with about works, such as what happened with the original Prince of Mushoku Tensei. Or it says to me that we as a collective just don't want to work on this material, period. So we're going to see what they mean by that, because me and others have asked for clarification on that point, and they have not given it. So they could really go either way with that.
Yeah, I can understand how there's definitely a bit of a vagueness to how that was particularly worded and what the intent there is.
I get from that comment, from that demand, that there has been an issue with this. What I am not seeing from the union at this time is what they want to do about it. Because basically, I don't know if you're calling for transparency in this regard because you don't want to work on that material, period, as a collective, or because you just want the right people to do the right things. I'd really like some clarification on that point. I am generally pro-union, but I'm also not going to act like unions don't demand silly things from time to time.
Yeah, true. But still, the whole thing with Katrina and her entire thing about, this thing wouldn't be nearly as popular as it was if it weren't for the stellar translation work this one person did.
Oh yeah, it's like lady, okay, or whatever you identify as. I don't know, but it's like, I agree. You people aren't paid enough. Most people aren't paid enough, but stealing the thunder of everyone else involved is not the way to go about championing, higher wages.
Yeah, that's really that's the bigger picture issue, but
Also learn to take criticism. That's another point.
Humility is a very good skill to learn.
At the same time, however, it's a frustrating discourse to be in, because I also feel like so many anti-lock people are just fucking stupid and don't understand how translation works either. So
yeah, the entire concept of I'm anti-localization is fucking ridiculous, because sir, it's like, I want a more literal translation. It's like, do you really know what you're asking for when you say that? Because I'm not sure you do.
I think Amelie made fun of that at one. I don't know if you guys know who Amelie.
We know who Amelie is. Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. So she actually made fun of this at one point because people people were ragging on her, mixing up the lyrics and changing them in order to be better. And it's not like they're huge deviations, but she had some liberties just because you are working with a tempo and a measure, just like a translator for is working with mouth flaps and timing. And so she was like, okay, you guys want the literal translation? So she released Crossing Field, the first opening to Sword Art Online, with a literal translation, and it sounded like dog shit.
Yeah, see, that's actually...
You got to link that. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it's just so bad. The measures all over the place. There's no rhythm. There's no tempo, and it's like, but you guys wanted the literal translation? No,
that's so. Funny.
So I champion, absolute champion for her to do that and to prove to people this is what you're asking for. This is what you're asking me to do. There's no art. There's no art in.
The thing I like about Amelie's English covers is that the way that she writes her English covers, I actually do check out like the official like the proper translation of the Japanese text, and I do actually like compare it to like what Amelie does, and what she does is basically what you should be doing in a general translation sense. Is you're understanding the underlying intent, and you're understanding what the song, what the original work is trying to go for in terms of its themes, its ideas, what it's trying to represent to whoever is experiencing it, and it's basically just trying to rework it in a way where it's easier to understand and where it actually fits what you're trying to do. And in a song, in the context of trying to translate a song, there's a really good video by, I believe, Sideways about this, how different languages actually have a different tempo, and how different languages present themselves differently in songs. So you actually have to alter the way that songs are sung and structured when you translate them from one language into another. And he did a really good example of that with Moana. And
music is an entirely different beast, even from just translating like fiction or documents or whatever.
Yeah, it's like there's
anything that doesn't have tempo, then it's very easy. Adding the tempo in and have translate mouth flaps in an anime, or it's translating for a song, is incredibly different. It's a completely different beast. You have to take liberties with. As long as you're giving the overall, as long as you're giving it the best overall representation of the overall message, then that should.
Yeah, that's ultimately the thing to keep in mind, is that you're not working with words, you're working with ideas, you know.
Pretty much. And when you begin to change the underlying ideas and themes, you're kind of sucking at your job.
Yeah. But these anti-lock people will get hung up on like, well, I saw a different translator and they use this word and this, like, so you're doing it wrong. That's the wrong word. Or some bullshit like that.
It's an extension of the whole like fucking Nakama shit from like early One Piece fandom, where everyone was like, Nakama is such a complex word that can't be translated into English into one specific word, and every single translator who works professionally is just smacking their head against a goddamn desk, being like, that's why you translate it based on context.
Yeah, like occasionally you run into terms like that where like they don't have a good English equivalent. They gradually become loan words. Like tsundere is one where it's like we don't really have a term for that, so it just kind of became a loan word. But like most of the time, that's not necessary.
Yeah. There is a time and a place for. God. The whole thing is that I am somewhere in the middle of both of these extremes, because let's be real, they're extremes. You know, the extreme of, you know, localizers basically just doing whatever they want and, you know, coming up with, you know, excuse upon excuse, justification upon justification for the shit that they're doing, even though it's
in other
wrong.
words, as usual, you are a normal person.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
But, like, the anti-localization people are also being fucking stupid by not really understanding what localization actually is, what it's supposed to do, and the function of it. And they're basically trying to... They're pushing for change, but without knowing what they actually want changed.
Well, that's a problem with modern society, is everybody's heart's in the right place, but they have no idea how to execute change. The only thing they understand how to do is be fucking angry, yell at, and that's really a failing of our society, is that we have been morality has been pounded into us, like every TV show, everybody else. They tell us how to think and how to believe as a society. You know, try to be kind to people, try to make things fair, et cetera, et cetera. But we don't. But when things don't work out, we have no idea how to actually make effective change to make it better. And that's a huge problem, is that people just don't know how to make it happen when it doesn't work. And that's the overall issue. And it's like, you know, the answers are there. So you want to change something? You want to change something in government? Go right to your senator. If you want to go burning down your neighbor's house isn't exactly an effective way to change something, but writing to your senator and threatening to burn his down might be a better way to do it.
See, in that case, you're actually getting to the heart of the matter.
Well, exactly, and that's what I'm talking about, is people don't know who to attack. They just attack everything, or they just attack anything that it just immediately disagrees with, or even has a different opinion on them, even though that's an effective way, or a completely ineffective way, or even worse, a detrimental way. It's one of those things where if you're gonna riot, great, burn down City Hall. I champion that cause. Congratulations, you got him. You burn down your neighbor's house and the $3 General next door. I'm not exactly sure what message you're sending, but it's probably not, please change the way the laws. It's probably just, I hate Dollar General. That's the message that you're sending. It's just people don't know how to.
To be fair, false advertising. There shouldn't have more than $1. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah. Even Dollar Tree has select 125 items now.
It's the $1.25 tree.
The age of the dollar store is over.
Even the 99-cent only store. It's no longer only 99 cents.
Yeah, my point basically still stands. It's like people know what is right, but they don't know how to make, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree.
And so what they end up doing is causing a lot more damage than they actually intended. And making their, struggle even worse, and then does is breed more hatred and anger and just more aggression from both sides. So that's something we're going to have to deal with, or at least the better of us. Not trying to be classist here, but the better of us are going to have to deal with that behavior. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt your diatribe about the human condition. I just have strong feelings about Dollar Tree.
No, you're fine. Fine.
Yeah.
It's basically Walmart, but for very poor people. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth.
No, you're right.
I feel like on average, the people I see at Dollar Tree are better dressed, though.
You're absolutely right. Oh, yeah. That was the funny thing is Kiara had visited America, and she went to Walmart and for the first time, and she said, that was a great experience. I'm never going back.
Yep.
She did not believe that Walmart fashion was a real thing. We tried to explain it to her. We showed her pictures, and she's like, this isn't real. There's no way people go out dressed like this. And I'm like, oh, go to one yourself and see.
Mm-hmm.
So she got a bit of culture shock from that one.
Yep. I feel like at a Dollar Tree, it's mostly just like, it's thrifty, it's thrift store fashion, It's like, we got the most attractive items at the local Goodwill.
Yes.
Yeah. Who the fuck drinks Yoo-Hoo, by the way?
Oh my god, I literally had Yoo-Hoo, again, for a couple, I remember, having Yoo-Hoo as a kid and being like, oh man, this is the shit. And, I drank it again as an adult, a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just sad. I drank it, I was like, oh my god, this is just sad chocolate milk. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Some people love it.
They are unfortunately wrong.
You know what's the weirdest Dollar Tree thing that I don't understand? What's with the Donald Duck drink?
Okay, so the Donald Duck brand of drinks actually goes back to, I think, the 1950s or 1960s. Back when orange juice was back when orange juice had its first big boom back in the 1960s.
What a time! What a time that must have been. Orange juice hitting the market.
Well, more so that there was a massive marketing push about it being a health drink, and Disney decided to get in on that by partnering with a major juice manufacturer and licensing the likeness of Donald Duck as basically just to sell more. You sell Donald you sell orange juice, you get the money for that, and you pay us a royalty fee for using our character. And the deal with that deal has just continually gone on since the 60s. Donald Duck orange juice isn't as prevalent as it used to be because there are other, let's be realistic, healthier brands, better brands.
I only ever see Donald Duck orange juice at like Dollar Trees and like really like low end stores.
Yeah, that's mostly where you find them these days. They're not really sold in like they're occasionally sold in like the bigger cartons, but like not in most stores. The most common place you're going to find Donald Duck orange juice is going to be at like your dollar stores and other places like that because it's considered so a cheaper alternative. It's still orange juice, but like it's formulated in a way that's cheaper to produce than like stuff like Tropicana or God forbid Minute Maid.
Oh, I was gonna say Simply.
Simply, definitely Simply. Yeah. Simply is actually like got a massive fucking market share on like the juice market.
Yeah. What I'm hearing, Kevin, is that at some point we need to rank orange juices.
We need to rank a lot of shit.
That's true. It's true.
So right now you're talking to me about like Donald Duck orange juice, and I'm just sitting here like I've literally never heard of this shit. What are you talking about?
You, sir, need to go to Dollar Tree.
Do I really?
The first time I posted a picture of Donald Duck orange juice on Twitter, you were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh, this has precedence.
Yeah, you specifically, like, this is like...
we all know how precedence works these days.
Yeah, this happened in, like, 2020 or something. Like, I posted a picture of, like, a half... like a bottle of Donald Duck orange juice I had drank, like, half of. And you were like, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that before. There's Donald Duck orange juice? What the fuck? Is that legal? Is that, like, official? Like, Zeke was so confused.
What? No, it wasn't me.
No, it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you.
I went to Dollar Tree before 2020. I knew what Donald Duck orange juice was.
Maybe it was like before that. I don't fucking know. But like, I do remember very distinctly you being like, "I have never seen this before."
I'm gonna fucking look this up. That was not me.
I'm already looking it up. No, not Donald fuck. No, not Donald Dick. No,
yeah,
fucking.
My swipe already did the same thing. Yeah. Come on. What do you mean no result?
Okay. That was someone else. Okay, never mind. It was not you.
Yeah.
It was not you.
Yeah. Vindication.
Justice.
Let it be known. Let it be known. Zeke, knower of the Donald Duck orange juice. Herald of the Donald Duck orange juice.
Herald of the Donald Duck orange. God damn it.
Yeah.
Check out the trending tab on Twitter, and the top trend right now is racist POS.
Well, hopefully they're not talking about our boy Donald Duck.
No, I think it's the other Donald.
Probably. Imagine the world's biggest Donald Duck fan goes to R the Donald and like, oh, what? This is not my ducky boy. But I find it interesting. I just find it fascinating because you don't associate Disney with like, I mean, obviously you associate Disney with low class, but you don't associate it with like, you know, dollar stores, you know, like you don't think of, when you think of Disney, you don't think about the cheapest options, you know? So it's just
think of $600 lightsaber programs that break after you leave the park.
Yeah. Or buying $5 Cokes at Disney World, you know? You don't think about Disney having the cheapest anything, so it's just interesting to me that the Donald Duck orange juice is like a lower class item, you know, to the extent that I feel like there's a significant portion of the population that doesn't realize that Donald Duck is an orange juice mascot.
I mean, color me surprised.
Yeah, color you orange.
See, here we have the control right here.
I don't want to be orange. That makes me associated with bad people these days.
Oh, I mean, you look good in orange, though.
I do look good wearing orange.
Yeah, I've made this connection before. We have the unique superpower of being white guys who look good in orange.
That is fair.
Yeah. Kevin, I ever tell you about the black guy in my high school I was really jealous of?
No, I don't think you have. No.
Because his entire aesthetic was combining teal with salmon in a way that literally only works for a black person. I'm like, damn, I wish I could rock that. Yeah, he'd have like a teal hoodie with like a salmon shirt underneath, and I'm like, damn, it looks fucking fresh.
You know, I'm kind of like imagining that kind of person in my head now, and yeah, that would work. That would work. Only for a black guy, but not. It would look fucking stupid on a white guy. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, at least I look good in orange. I have that to my name. And while we're on the subject, white women, stop trying to make pastels work. They're not made for
white women, am I right?
Yeah. Pastels were not made for you.
You talking about my girl right now? She likes pastel colors.
I'm not. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
All right, this got awkward really fast.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with the deep lore or the shallow lore or the lore.
I can teach you.
No, I don't.
I can show you the world.
You are like you're. As we revealed earlier, the deep Serodin lore. You're like the fallen me. You're like the me from the bad future. You know, I don't want to follow that path.
I don't know how to take that. I think I'm having a great time with life. I don't really say.
That's exactly what the me from the bad future would say. No one from the bad... Actually, now that I think about it, a lot of people from the bad future know and think they're from the bad future. Never mind. The trope. Yeah. You're subverting expectations is what you're doing.
Glad to help.
Yep. Anyway, we should probably get to the Reddit dive at some point.
Yeah, we should probably do that. We've been talking about fucking Donald Duck orange juice for 40 minutes at this point, so...
Kevin, I have long desired to just have more fruit-based content on the channel. That's my goal. More
the
fruit.
The bakagaijin citrus goals.
Yeah, exactly. The people need to know. I don't think the American people know that beloved icon Donald Duck is an orange juice mascot.
The majority may not know, yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Let's go to the Reddit dive.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I will start us off with this one. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter not to talk to me?
Not to talk to who?
Me. Well, not me, but like them, me. Me, them.
I was to say, if we're talking about you, then no, you're not the asshole. I wouldn't want to talk to you either. Fuck.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, bud.
Anyway. No, not me, but that OP. Not to talk to OP, who is them to us, but me to them. Some backstory.
Read the fucking post.
I have 3 kids, 14F, 16F, 25F. They used to get along great. Then 14F got a cat for her birthday, and 16F hated him. I think she's scared of him, but she refuses to admit it, so she used it as an excuse to not have much of a relationship with her sister. She's also been more distant with the rest of the family in an attempt to distance herself from her sister and her cat. My husband also dislikes the cat, but doesn't let it affect his relationship with his family. My husband and I were at our friend's birthday party last week. We were supposed to be out late, and 14 and 16 were home alone. 16 was taking the family dog out, and 14's cat was trying to play and was swiping at her feet. 16 called 14 to get her, quote, shithead cat away from her and told her that what the cat was doing. Apparently 14 took her time to get there, then laughed, called the cat a good boy, and gave him a treat. 14 denied it, but it sounds like something she would do. This sparked an argument between the two, and 16 kept cursing the cat out. She knows this hurt 14, and 14 retaliated by cursing her out. 16 responded by telling 14 that she doesn't love her, and hasn't for a long time.
Holy
she hates her.
Shit!
She is so excited for the day she gets to move out and never speaks to her or see her again. This deeply hurt 14 because family is extremely important to her, and 25 lives nearby, but never asks her to hang out and only speaks to her a couple times a year, which is already very hard on her. Then, to rub salt on the wound, she grabbed a treat, called the cat's name, threw the treat outside. The cat chased it, and 14 spent over an hour looking for her cat. 16 called my husband and told him about their argument, and 14 called me and told me what 16 did with the treat, so we had to leave early. When I got home, I grounded 16 because she escalated the argument by cursing the cat out, and then hurt her sister by going on that spiel about how she hates her and she's going to be alone, then for throwing the treat out. But my husband ungrounded her and said that 14 should be punished for laughing and giving the cat a treat when he was trying to scratch 16. 14 asked if there was anything that was going to happen to 16 for what she said and did, and 16 yelled that she meant everything. I told 16 that she ruined my weekend and not to speak to me. My husband took her side and has been sleeping on the couch since, and 16 hasn't spoken to her or to me or 14 since the argument. Last night I found my husband helping 16 pack and getting her important documents out of the safe. When I asked what he was doing, he said 16 was going to stay with 25. I told him 16 wasn't going anywhere, but he ignored me and went back to packing. 16 is gone now, and my husband is still on the couch. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter not to speak to me?
Your husband has favoritism and your daughter's a bitch. No, you're not the asshole.
I like top comment. This is not about the cat.
It's really not. This is such a fucking family dynamic issue. It's way deeper than the cat. There's some deep-seated hatred going on here that there's some problems that were not addressed over the last few years.
Yeah, this sounds like a powder keg that just went off, but somebody had to fill the powder keg.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
who better than a cat, right?
Yeah, well, the cat was actually playing, third wheel to all of this nonsense that was going off because all it was.
The cat's over here just vibing. The cat did nothing wrong.
Cats are innocent, beautiful creatures.
Whatever precipitated this situation was brewing for a long time, and all it did was come to a head that evening. There is no way this is the first and only conflict between all these dysfunctional people. If OP thinks it's all sudden and unpredictable, they need to start paying attention.
But are they the asshole?
I don't have enough context to know that.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I'm voting info because, but even that, I don't know how you could. This feels like something you can't summarize. It's just whatever the fuck went wrong with this family. I feel like it's old and it's long and it's probably complicated.
There is some deep lore here that I'm not sure if we have the time to get into.
I was going to say, are you the asshole in this particular situation in a vacuum? Probably not. Are you an asshole for probably contributing to a tense family environment over the last who knows how many years? Probably.
Yeah.
That's how I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a better way to go about it.
Yeah. My official.
I know, that's because I'm Serodin and you're Kevin.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. My official verdict is.
I'm a meanie, I'm sorry.
My official verdict, I'm voting IDK. I don't fucking know.
Get a therapist, all of you.
Yeah.
Seriously, holy shit.
Yeah. Kevin, would you like to read another one coincidentally about a cat? Or maybe not about a cat. We'll find out.
Are we going to have another developing theme as we do usually?
I love when we have themes.
Am I the asshole for telling our mutual friends the real reason I adopted a cat?
I wanted some pussy.
He went for it. We were all thinking it, but he went for it.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem is I keep going for it, but...
Hey, that's what you're here for.
I mean, shit, man, it's working out for you so far.
Yeah.
I, 28 male, recently agreed to foster a cat who I was told had massive behavior issues and was going to be taken to an animal shelter if I didn't agree. I expected spitting, hissing, biting, not litter box trained, etc. Cat arrived with nothing to her name. Cat is 5 years old. No box.
When do cats have anything to their name?
No box, bowls, toys, food, nothing but a flea collar that was clearly months old and too tight. Cat was absolutely filthy. Ex-owner told me they couldn't provide money at the time for me to set the cat up, and I allowed it as I'd been told they were in a nasty financial position. We agreed to keep a tab of vet bills / food bills to be paid. As they are leaving, she mentions the case of White Claws she stopped to pick up on the way. I was gobsmacked. I said about getting what the cat needed and began to try and gauge its behavior. Turns out this animal is the sweetest, smartest, kindest being I've ever had the pleasure to know. Took Cat to the vet.
Really stupid humans.
Yeah.
Took Cat to the vet, and Cat is incredibly ill and underweight due to neglect. got her medical shampoo for her skin, antibiotics for the massive infection she has, and then called her ex-owner and told her to send me her microchip details as I would be keeping the cat. She says that's fine, cat was never chipped anyway. Doesn't pay anything bar $40 of the bills. 2 days later, turns up at her job with hair and nails done. I sat on it for 6 weeks and stewed until I found out she had been speaking to someone about a kitten. I didn't embellish anything. I simply told 2 of my closest friends what happened and why the cat stayed with me. The truth spread like wildfire, and most people have now turned their back on her. My only intent was to stop her from getting another animal, not for it to end up like this. I feel like I could be the asshole because this has affected her work and friendships. So am I the asshole? No.
Yeah, I don't think so in this case.
You were literally just mentioning offhand, oh yeah, this is what the previous owner was like, and like you were basically just doing your due diligence as like a new pet owner and just kind of explaining the situation about the cat. Yeah. So I
think the only way you'd be the asshole is if you told them you wouldn't, but wow, say that. So
if this affects the previous owner and her like professional and personal relationships that much, then maybe she shouldn't have been a shit cat owner. Just a thought.
Yeah, it's like unless you agreed to keep it a secret, then I don't think you're wrong for just saying the truth.
Yeah, there are a couple of follow-up edits, so but yeah, Reddit's basically on our side. Top comment, not the asshole. This sounds like a person who should not be trusted with anything other than perhaps a cactus. Not your fault that people spread gossip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the edits are, well, folks, I think we can safely say that I am not the asshole. Wanted to thank you all for your judgments, no matter what they were. The darkness has been given all... I love it. They named the cat the Darkness. I fucking love it. The darkness has been given all of the wonderful messages, love, and scritchies. That's so cute. You can
keep a very level darkness. I am the night.
You can keep an eye out on cat tax for a post due to this blowing up. Keep safe, be nice to each other and the animals. Edit 2. Also, I want to assure you all that she will be okay. We are in for several surgeries, corrective and necessary, and a long recovery. But I've got her every step of the way, and she will have the best of everything forever. Yay! Happy ending!
Mm-hmm. No, not the asshole.
No, not the asshole. What the fuck?
Perfectly decent, sweethearted human being.
Right, find some harder ones. Come on, goodness.
Okay, fine.
Give me a challenge. Come on.
Make me question my own morality and my own reality. This is like, I'm 12 and is this correct? I haven't watched that episode of SpongeBob yet.
All right. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that she doesn't need to be with her sick friend at the hospital?
Well, let's see how you approach the subject.
That depends on so many factors. Yeah. Is she there for a stubbed toe, or is she there because she's dying of cancer? Because I don't think you need, like, go ahead. Just let's see what the situation is. Because
this thread was locked, so I'm imagining we're in for something.
Oh no!
Yes, a challenge.
Oh fuck! People are vacuuming. Whatever. So my wife has a friend from childhood named quote-unquote Anthony. I'm being completely honest here when I say that he and I don't get along. It's not like he's rude or disrespectful, nothing like that, but all I feel towards him is annoyance, sort of because of how much my wife sees him. He lives alone and now suffers from a medical condition, cancer, that requires him to go to the hospital regularly to receive treatment. I found out that my wife promised
Did you add cancer, or is cancer in parentheses?
Yeah, cancer's in parentheses. Yeah, parentheses.
Oh, okay. That's a bit more than a medical condition.
Yeah, it just says medical condition, parentheses, cancer. Anyway, that requires him to go to the hospital regularly to receive treatment. I found out that my wife promised him that she'd go with him to every chemo treatment as support. She said it's a commitment she made to be there for him during this tough time, since he has no one else beside him. Okay. I had no issue with that at first, but then this started affecting me. I can't go see my friends because I have to stay with my son on X day so my wife could be with Anthony for his treatment. I've talked to her about this, and she said that Anthony needs the company and that she's just being supportive, and this is when he needs her the most. I let it go, but last week was kind of my last straw. Anthony had another chemo session treatment, and my wife wanted to go with him and asked me to stay home with our son. I told her that I had a meetup with my mom and sister to eat lunch and that I won't be home. She said she needed to go be with him, and I kind of flipped out at her and said that she doesn't need to be with him and could literally go see him at home the next day or something. She threw a fit and called me cruel for forcing her to leave Anthony by himself since she's all he has, and I will be making her look bad. She also said my appointment with my mom and sister wasn't as important as a chemo session, but I decided to just leave and end the argument. She ended up staying at home, but I kept ignoring me when I got back, calling me selfish for not letting her be there to support Anthony for what he's going through. Some of her girlfriends think I'm being a controlling jerk with no consideration for Anthony and what he's going through. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for telling my wife, was it?
Yeah, wife.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife that my lunch with my mom is more important than her friend with cancer? What do you think?
Okay, well, no, because there's factors here. Because, like, it depends. How often does he get to see his mom and sister? How often does he get to, connect with the people that he cares about? This is kind of like a sticky situation. At the same time, if she's been there for everyone, it makes sense that she'd have to miss one or the other. I understand that she wants to be there for this person because, she may be the only person that he has. But I think the person would understand if, hey, it just didn't work out today. I will come see you tomorrow at your house.
Yeah. If they got mad that they missed like a chemo here and there, like I think then they're the asshole. But
I think this is the case. I think it was reasonable for him to ask for a day off. That being said, he could have also asked for a sitter. He could have asked. He could have given her more time ahead to discuss it. To discuss it with the person and say, "Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it this time, but good luck. I'll see you tomorrow." Springing it on her last minute might not have been the best play. But are you a total asshole? No, you're only like 30%.
Yeah.
Is she a total asshole? No, I only think she's like 40% asshole. So I don't. Overall, I don't think either person in this case is an asshole, but there's definitely elements of asshole. Are you going no
assholes here, or are you going everyone sucks here?
I mean, the whole situation is just kind of shit to start with.
Yeah. Top comment. I don't understand. Why do you think going out to lunch or with your friends is more important than someone going to chemo? Why can't you schedule your fun time at a different day when your wife's friend has chemo treatment?
It may not have been up to him.
Yeah. Why do you think you're watching your son? He's your son too. Why can't you take your son with you to lunch with your mom or his grandmother?
Or find a sitter.
Yeah. YTA, I can't think of one legitimate answer to these questions that would change that.
I mean, we literally just gave some answers. So
Reddit is pretty hard YTA on this. I think it's mostly because of the way the post is downplaying the fact this guy has cancer.
Yeah, because that does see, that is one of the biggest red flags for me here, is that this dude is seriously trying to downplay as much as possible the fact that his wife's friend has cancer, and it's just oh, he has a certain medical condition,
cancer.
Come on, dude. That's kind of a dick move.
I don't know how frequent chemo is. I'm assuming it's different for every case.
It's different, a little different for every case, but usually it's once a week to once a month. It depends on the case.
Yeah, the case, the severity of it, what stage you're at, what part of the body it's affecting.
I'm going to assume this is probably on the more frequent side, given his... If this is once a month, I would say he's absolutely the asshole. But, yeah. I don't have enough information. I'm going to give this a really soft everyone sucks here.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. For me, it's a weird balance between, everyone sucks here info and you're the asshole. I can't figure out. Yeah, it's way too complicated a situation with way too many shades of gray for me to say definitively one or the other. It's just the whole thing is just kind of fucked.
All right, here's one for you.
Alrighty then. Let me see here. Oh dear. Oh no. Am I the asshole for turning my wife's joke about my erectile dysfunction back on her? I'm a 32-year-old man, and my wife Jess is a 26-year-old woman. We have been married for 3 years. 6 months ago, I started to experience erectile dysfunction. This has largely been spurred by anxiety. It's a medical condition that I am currently seeing a doctor for. Jess has gone between blaming me and then blaming herself. Basically, weekly the pendulum swings one way or the other. Lately, she has found humor in it, and I guess I can laugh a little at myself, too. It's only a severe psychological symptom and all that jazz.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, on Friday night, we meet up for we meet up for friends with drinks. Wait, don't you mean with friends for drinks?
We meet up for friends with drink. Yeah, that's a weird way to say that. Yeah.
Hope he is drunk. Got it.
Yep. Well, obviously.
Clearly, you also have other kinds of dysfunction, if that's how you type. The discussion turned into a direction that led a very drunk Jess to say, "Yeah, and I'm not getting any because this guy can't even get it up," while pointing at me. My first reaction was shocked that she'd say something that horrible in private about me, but without missing a beat, I responded, "Yeah, with a wife like this, can you even blame me?"
My wife.
Everyone laughed and assumed we were kidding, and it was a silly thing we had. I mean, what kind of a 32-year-old gets erectile dysfunction in the first place, right? Well, the next morning, Jess was incredibly hungover, but distinctly remembered what I said and got very upset. It wasn't a real screaming her head off type, but a quiet "how dare you" type. I responded that she just threw everything about me on the table, to which she responded that it was more of a spur-of-the-moment thing, while my response was quote-unquote calculated. I don't think I was the asshole here, but was I? No.
Yeah, it was calculated to literally get rid of all the tension and make everyone think they were joking. So, mission accomplished on that front. He literally did her a favor.
Seriously, like she said something that would have just been hung in, like, if he had just left that alone, it would have just hung in the air, and it would have been like this really just kind of like uncomfortable moment. But he turned it into like this fun little joke, little haha wink nudge, just kind of brushing it under the table, not like trying not to worry so much about it. Like, that was a good move, honestly. I don't blame the dude for that.
You salvaged the situation, and your wife can't stand her. If she can't see that, she's being stupid.
This is once again a situation where it's just like the person is upset because they got caught being an asshole in front of other people. So, no, you're not the asshole, OP.
He literally gave her like a free pass out of being the asshole, and then she decided, no, I want to be the asshole. Let me be the asshole.
Top comment with 2 awards. My husband has an ED problem a few years back due to stress and stuff. I will admit that at first I was worried he wasn't attracted to me anymore. He assured me it wasn't me, and I moved on to being the support he needed. He was only 27 at the time, and his doctor said it's all in your head and helped him work past it. During that time, and even now, years after the problem was solved, I would never ever make a joke like that. Not in private and not in public. You are not the asshole, and I'm sorry your personal business was put out in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully Reddit is on the right side of history today. They are unanimously agreeing with this one, not the asshole.
This was locked, though, so I'm going to sort by controversial real quick and see what...
Yeah, what are the controversial... I can do that. I have the app open, so I can absolutely do that.
The most controversial is someone just saying justified asshole, and so someone replies, so not an asshole.
If the tables were flipped, everyone would be saying you're not the asshole. They also would be saying that your partner should be supporting and understanding you more with compassion. Therapy may be needed, but also your wife is living with a patriarchal mindset that your erection is directly linked to her attractiveness. This is something she needs to work on and disconnect from. She was in the wrong with this 100%, and you did the right thing to do. Yeah, even the fucking...
They were probably downvoted just for mentioning the patriarchy.
The patriarchy. Even the controversial ones agree that OP isn't the asshole here.
Yeah, I don't know why this thread was locked then. Weird.
Maybe it's just because it was maybe it's just locked because everyone was basically just saying the same thing over and over, and it was like, nothing new added.
That doesn't usually happen because threads just die naturally in that case.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, let's see here. It's a very heavy day, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's how it is some weeks.
Yeah.
To be fair, we've had a couple weeks where we had a nice little variety of posts, so like having a bit of an Ida heavy episode isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah. I do have one petty revenge story. I haven't pre-read this though, so it could be a total flop. But let's try it out.
All right, let's see where this goes.
Petty revenge. My half-sister wanted to show up in a wedding dress to my engagement party, so I changed the party theme so she would fit right in.
Oh no.
After 39 messages in my inbox asking me to post here, I will. My half-sister, quote-unquote Heather, and I never really got along. We're both 24. My father left my mother for her mother, and we were born the same month, 20 days apart. It has always been weird. It doesn't help that Heather's mother hates me and my mother. By extension, Heather and I didn't have the best relationship. She has always tried to one-up me. Even though we both have similar economic backgrounds, I can give examples of this, but for the sake of the word limit, I won't write them here. So now my fiancé and I got engaged last month and had our engagement party this Saturday. We had planned it originally as a casual, formal event. Nice dresses, but not, I'm going to the Met Gala ball nice. More like, we're going to a good restaurant nice. Anyway, my cousin hits me up saying she has something to show me. It was the picture of the dress Heather was going to wear. Edit, this is what the dress looked like approximately. It was a bit shorter and a bit less puffy. The rest is almost identical. I will share the picture in... Oh my... Whoa. Okay. I will share the picture in lobby chat so you guys can see. So apparently it was shorter and less puffy, but it was very similar to this dress, apparently.
All right, I will endeavor to put this in the video, and I will not forget.
Yeah. So let that sink in for a second. That dress.
Goodness.
Christ,
this dress,
that is gaudy.
Jesus Christ, they write. It can only be described as opulent. It was long, white, strapless with sewn-in crystals and gold accents. I'm pretty sure it was a wedding dress, but I can't be 100% certain. This made me really mad, so I decided, fuck that. I started texting people telling them that there had been a change of plans. Instead of casual formal, I decided to make it a costume party. My mother's side is crazy for Halloween, so they were immediately on board. I told my father via text and asked him to relay the message to Heather and her mother, knowing full well he would forget or leave it to the last minute. Saturday comes along, guests start showing up, most of them in costumes. Some didn't have time to get one, we just provided them with fun hats or cheap wigs. Heather, my dad, and her mother come in 1 hour late. As soon as she notices that everyone was either wearing elaborate costumes or weird accessories and she didn't stand out, she lost it. Especially that quote, her bride dress looked amazing for a cheap costume. And her mother and my father told me that I was being childish and could have told Heather myself and not tasked my father. For those interested, my fiance was dressed as Bubbles and I went dressed as Mojo Jojo.
That's fucking awesome. I love it.
My mother
That is amazing.
My mother and aunt went as Abba. My other memorable costumes were Luffy and Zorro, Ian Malcolm and John Hammond, and Jesus Christ. Edit. So why did I invite her? Why did I invite her? It's one of those weird family situations where you're not inviting them. Where not inviting them would have been more dramatic. You know, when you're trying to please everyone. Plus, I still wanted a relationship with my father, so not inviting Heather and her mother would have made things super difficult and made it so my father would have to have chosen. When I kept thinking of it, I noticed my father wouldn't have chosen me on this scenario, which is why I ended up cutting them off. So, some people have said I let her win. No, the point of this was to ruin my half-sister's intention. She wasn't just dressed nicely as some of you put it. She wore a wedding dress to my engagement party. I'd much rather subvert this whole mess rather than have her smugly sitting at the table with her wedding dress.
Yeah, it was very clear that she was trying to steal the thunder from under you, so I think you honestly made the best choice in, like, actively embarrassing her without, like, you know, being like, haha, look at her and laugh. Like, she was being a fucking bitch, so... Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like, this is fine. This is fine. This is hilarious. I love this. This is the kind of petty revenge shit I love.
Yep.
And it's totally harmless, which is the best kind of revenge, because they can be extremely mad, but you didn't cause any harm.
Yep.
And that just makes them look worse. Everyone around them is just gonna be like, damn, what's your problem?
Glorious. Someone didn't get the memo. This one for you.
Alright, here we go with another Aita. Am I the asshole for canceling the trip after my fiance decided to... Holy shit, this thing has a lot of awards.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for canceling the trip after my fiance decided to bring her 10-year-old son with us? I, M33, have been with Natalie, F32, for 2 years. We're getting married soon, and she shares custody of her 10-year-old son with her ex-husband. Ever since her ex-husband got sick, Natalie kept bringing her son over more often. Sometimes her mom would take him due to work, etc. We've been having issues because of that. Hold up. He formatted this weird. Yeah. We've been having issues because of that. Because Natalie has to bring my stepson with us whenever we go. Type right, dude. we started going out less and less. Since it's been a month since we've gone out, and since her ex has gotten better, I've arranged for a trip to the beach for the weekend. It's supposed to be a couple's getaway. She was excited for it and prepared everything. The night before the trip, she comes up to me and says, "Hey, Tom is sick again, and he asked if I could take Taylor to spend the weekend with us." I was gobsmacked. I love that word.
Yeah.
And I asked what she told him, and she said she agreed. She then proceeded to tell me that she'd like to take Taylor with us to the beach. I got upset and told her not to bother because the trip was officially Holy shit, dude! Because the trip was officially canceled. She looked at me. Okay, I need to put on an asshole voice for this because Jesus Christ.
You again.
I got upset and told her not to bother because the trip was officially cancelled. She looked at me shocked, but I told her she shouldn't act shocked and surprised after she successfully ruined another opportunity for us to have quality alone time together. She went on about how she couldn't believe that I expect her to ditch her son, since her mom was busy as well and getting a babysitter wasn't on the table. I just shrugged and told her it was done, then I walked out. I went with the guys instead, and she has been upset with me about it, saying I could have just agreed to let my stepson Taylor come with us, and we would have at least had some family time together, while Tom gets better. She said I was the one who screwed up. Am I the asshole?
Okay, to make top comment work, you have to read the edit first.
Okay. Edit/info, because I feel like this has gone into a whole different direction. Folks here need to chill the fuck out. Nowhere in my post did I mention not being ready or accepting to be a step-parent. Trust me, I am ready, and so far have been nothing but understanding and patient. I love my stepson and consider him as my own, but, and read this carefully, my problem is with his mom constantly changing plans last minute and not even asking if that's okay with me. She literally did. Anyway. And yes, I had to go out with the guys instead. Didn't know what else to do since she obviously wanted some space from me for the weekend, which is alright with me. By the way, I'm not mad about that at all. I just appreciated if she'd been a little more considerate of my thoughts and opinions.
Read top comment.
Before edit, you're the asshole. After edit, you're the asshole, but bigger. Holy fuck.
I love this comment. Oh man, I can't believe this chick I'm dating actually expects me to be cool with hanging out with her own son. Am I the asshole?
One of these top comments got 44 awards and then got deleted.
Oh, we'll never know.
So, I for a short period of time, I dated a woman who had a child, and I went into it just understanding that the expectation would be that I had to love and accept this child as my own time that we were dating, and wanted to bring him along or bring her along.
Yeah.
Then that was something I just had to deal with. And if you're not ready for that, then don't date women with children.
Yeah.
Pretty much. This dude's basically just upset.
Please save them the trouble of your own ignorance.
Yeah.
This dude is upset that he started dating a woman who already has a child and is upset that the woman is trying to be a good parent to her son. Yeah, you're the asshole, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Someone wrote, for fuck's sake, she didn't change the plan because she wanted to. Her ex got sick. Exactly what did you expect her to do in this situation? Just drop the kid off at an orphanage? Leave him home by himself?
She straight up said that, like, for personal reasons, a babysitter was out of the question. Like, she couldn't do that. So,
you
like...
said in a you said in a comment that you love the kid like your own. Did you ever consider calling your own family to see if anyone could watch him?
See, that's another thing. Like, there are so many other options that you didn't consider, and instead you took the nuclear option as like, never mind, trip canceled, bye, bitch, and went out with your guy friends instead. Like, come on.
I love this string of comments. But according to the edit, we are the ones misinterpreting his actions. Of course he loves his new stepson. He just never wants to be around him when it's inconvenient. Because that's what parents do. They stop being parents when it gets hard, obviously. This is literally the worst edit of the week. How dare you call me an asshole? Here's how I'm an even bigger, more gaping asshole.
Yeah, fuck OP here, honestly. Goddamn.
Yeah. He's digging himself deeper.
Yeah, he's not escaping that one.
Take some goddamn responsibility for your actions. Holy shit.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, there's so many. This one's like, oh boy. Okay. These have such tantalizing titles. I'm not sure what I'm going to go with. I'll go with this one. Am I the asshole for not giving my mayonnaise to my boyfriend?
Say again.
Am I the asshole for not giving my mayonnaise to my boyfriend?
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard. Okay, let's go. Let's do that.
So is mayonnaise like a euphemism, or...?
Oh, this is very much literal mayonnaise, Kevin.
Oh my god.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but we've been arguing about this for over 2 months, and there's still no rightful party.
Are you
So we decided to ask for Reddit's help.
This has got to be a troll post, right? This isn't real.
This can't be real.
2 months ago, me, 25F, and my boyfriend, 25M, went to IKEA to grab a bite. We both... It's not a restaurant.
We went to IKEA to grab a bite.
It's not a
This has got to be a troll post. There's no way.
This is so not real.
We both bought a menu that included French fries. So naturally, the cashier gave us both mayonnaise packs at the checkout. The problem started when she gave me 3 packs instead of 2 and gave him 2. I didn't realize he got 1 less pack until later. We sat down, and before we even started eating, he jokingly grabbed one of my mayonnaises, that's a word, from my tray. Mind you, we often do these kinds of things at home, so I thought of that in a playful, non-serious way and grabbed the pack back from him while laughing. He grabbed the pack a few more times without saying anything in a still playful manner, and I grabbed it back just like before. I sensed something was off after we started eating. He was very quiet and constantly shutting down my every attempt to talk. I asked him what was wrong and only got "nothing's wrong" answers. I insisted one last time to find out what was wrong, and he admitted that he was upset for me for not giving him one of my mayonnaise packs. I told him I didn't understand that he seriously wanted the pack since he grabbed it a few times without expressing himself. He said that I knew he likes mayonnaise more than I do, and because he saw the cashier giving me an extra pack, he thought I'd give him that one. I expressed to him a couple of times that I'd gladly share the pack if he asked properly in the first place, but since he was so rude and acting like he was entitled to that pack without even bothering to ask, I refused to give it to him. We began arguing back and forth and never came to a conclusion since then. He defends that I should have laughed it off and given the mayonnaise since it's not a big deal, and since I'm his girlfriend and best friend, he should be able to take anything from my tray without asking because he'd let me do so. He also says he can do any of this with his male friends, so why should I react differently? I defend that if he'd asked properly, instead of just grabbing without saying anything, I'd have given him without hesitation. Please tell us who is the asshole here.
It's fucking mayonnaise.
Imagine arguing for 2 months about this. Imagine this being a significant percentage of your life.
Man, y'all must have a great fucking relationship if this is the biggest problem you have.
Shit. Hold on, my headphones. disconnected.
If the biggest rift in your relationship is whether or not you were supposed to steal the mayonnaise from your significant other at fucking IKEA, then I think you have it pretty good. But that's not the question here, is it?
No.
I have no fucking idea.
You're both children, honestly.
Grow up. This is such fucking playground shit.
Everyone sucks here.
Sure, yeah.
Particularly the cashier. The cashier played favorites. Let's be honest.
Can I have 5 minutes back of my life? Thank you. Good lord, that was a gigantic waste of time. Here's what you both need to do. Stop being gigantic fucking bitches. Go ask for another mayonnaise packet and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if you just ask for more mayonnaise, they'll give you more mayonnaise.
The solution was right there, but you've been dragging this out for 2 months?
Unless IKEA has a strict mayonnaise limit. You know.
The IKEA mayonnaise threshold.
That might be the title. Who the fuck goes to IKEA to get lunch, honestly?
That's the... who? Oh yeah, babe, let's go to the furniture store to grab some grub. Fucking... Who are you?
IKEAs are massive. If you go there for lunch, you're committing to like a 20-minute walk.
I have trouble believing that these are real people.
I don't know. People are fucking stupid.
This is also very true.
All right, so that was pretty silly, Kevin. How about a more serious one for you?
Okay, all right. I think a little bit of a switch can help us out here. Am I the asshole for canceling plans with my friend after finding out he put a tracker on my phone? Christ. I, 21 female, and my friend, 21 male, are home from college. It says from college, but I think it's from college.
Yeah, probably.
We went to different high schools, but we were friends through clubs and extracurricular. We had a friend group senior year that we both hung out in. The friend group died off, but we have stayed somewhat in touch to see each other a few times each summer for lunch to catch up. Anyways, we were on the phone about 2 weeks ago and made plans to chill, grab pizza, and listen to music. We were Snapchatting old friends, and he snapped some of them back through my phone. I don't think much of handling my phone for him to him to reply, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even friends with this guy for a while now. I've even been friends with this guy for a while now, and we've hung out.
You guys want to go skateboards?
Yes, I am a real friend. You want to go skateboards? So we're like decently close, I guess. The other day, he texted joking about how I need a better sleep schedule since I was up till 4 a.m. I laughed it off and said, yeah, I was up till 6 a.m. studying. I asked how he knew, and he just laughed it off and made a joke. I didn't think much of it because I know Instagram and Snapchat sometimes shows you when you were last active on the app. Anyways, today he texted me joking that I need to charge my phone. I was at 2% and was weirded out by how he knew that. Again, he just laughed it off and made a joke. I was like, what the fuck, did you share my location or find my iPhone? He said, no, and he said he'd explain tonight. We had plans to grab food.
I'll explain later.
I was kind of weirded out, but he kept joking. I check find my iPhone in locations and nothing is shared. Please type correctly, Why? What is with people? Not... Anyway. I then realized that on Snap he has ghost mode disabled and shared my location with himself. When I asked him about it, he denied it and didn't admit to it till I sent a screenshot. I expressed how weird that was, but he was joking through it and saying see you later. I've been ignoring his calls and texts since, and he's been spamming apologies. I was talking to one of my friends, 21 female, our mutual friend, and she was weirded out at first but laughed it off. She said it's weird, but he was clearly just messing around and I'm being a major asshole for blowing it up when it was totally harmless. And that I was being an asshole for ignoring his calls and apology texts because he clearly didn't mean it, since he's panicking that I'm mad. I'm not necessarily mad, I'm just totally weirded out and feel like my privacy has been invaded the last 2 weeks. I don't know how to feel. your privacy has been invaded the last 2 weeks. You're not the asshole.
That's how you should feel.
Congratulations, you're a normal human being.
You are not the asshole. I'm pretty sure being the victim of being tracked is nothing.
No, you don't understand. I was only stalking her as a joke.
No, it's just a joke, bro. Lighten up, bro. It's just a joke, bro.
Is that
Bro.
you?
I'm bleeping that out. I have to bleep that out.
You have to bleep that out. You have to bleep that out.
Stop giving me more work to do. God damn it.
Serodin, I have a serious request. Could you keep giving him more work to do?
No,
Okay.
stop.
So anyway, back. Never mind. I'm just kidding. You're gonna have to bleep that out too.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, please do. I will stop trying to get to do, but
no, you're not the asshole. This is a reasonable reaction to having a tracker on your phone.
I think it's an understandable reaction.
Yeah,
I think it's a very understandable reaction, and you do have a right to be angry.
Yeah.
I'm one of those saintly people.
Explain yourself.
So a little explanation about me. I'm one of those saintly people that doesn't believe because you were wronged gives you the right to wrong people. They behave like an infant. But I think his reaction here is fairly reasonable and understandable. Not saying he acted like an infant.
Yeah.
You know, it's just I'm one of those people that doesn't believe in the two-way street with cruelty.
Yeah, even if it was a joke, I think he's got some splaining to do. You know. So good luck with that. Not the asshole. Am I here or did I not disconnect?
No, you're here. You're here. I can hear you. You're good.
All right. Yeah. Am I the asshole for making my partner's drinking water too warm?
What?
Am I the asshole for making
No,
my partner's...
I heard it. This is just another ridiculous one. What the fuck?
To set the scene, I, 35M, like to drink cold or chilled water, and my partner, 33F, likes room temp pre-boiled water. Pre-boiled water. Okay.
Pre-boiled what?
Wait, hold on. No, if it's pre-boiled, wouldn't that just mean it's not boiled?
No, it's been like boiled beforehand, but it's been like chilled down to room temperature afterwards, I guess.
But the phrase pre-boiled implies this is before the boiling.
No. Pre-boiled means like it's been boiled as like a preparation stage.
So boiled.
Yes, they're just being stupid.
Yeah, this is like irregardless. It's like pre-boiled and boiled mean the same thing in this context. She likes boiled water, okay?
She likes boiled water.
Don't ever trust a person who likes boiled water.
To accommodate... No, don't trust a person who likes boiled veg. To accommodate that for both our needs, we have a kettle for boiling water, which after it is transferred to 2 water jugs are then either left at room temp or used to refill the dispenser in the fridge. On to the situation. 3 months ago, I emptied both room temp jugs into the fridge and boiled more water at night before bed. Partner came down, furious that she had no room temp water to drink, and we came to an agreement. Don't fill up both jugs into the dispenser and leave hers alone. Or leave her one. Fast forward to today, or 2 days ago, there was going to be some burst water main repairs outside by the utility company, so in the morning before my partner woke up, I decided that to make sure we had enough water to drink, I filled the dispenser with 1 jug, then halved the room temperature water in the other jug to both. We had previously shattered a jug on a cold day when we poured boiling water in it, so I thought I'd temper this by making sure the boiling water could enter the lukewarm water, reducing the chances of shattering the jugs. I went back to work and thought nothing of it. The partner wakes up and goes down and she's furious. She doesn't have any room temp water. I try to placate her by mixing lukewarm water with water from the dispenser to make room temp water, but it is futile. She will not relent.
Can we stop for a second?
Okay.
Go suck on a garden hose.
Quite literally.
Go suck on a garden hose, you prima donna bitch.
This bitch high maintenance.
This bitch is impossible maintenance. This bitch is a fucking 300-mile-an-hour crash into a guide rail. I can't fix this level of fucking stupid and insolent and self-absorbed. Go suck a garden hose. Your existence inconveniences people. Go fuck yourself.
She tips
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
She tips the entire bottle of water I mixed out into the sink and tries herself and can't get the temperature right either. She is absolutely raging at me at this point for not listening to her or caring about her needs. She storms out of the house in a huff. Am I the asshole here, or is perhaps this being blown out of proportion and mixing water to a specific temperature is not a big a deal?
She is being so fucking stupid. What the fuck? No, you're not the asshole.
So people were like, we need more information. What the fuck, actually? So there's a lot of question. Who boiled the kettle and filled the jugs the previous night? I did. Why did you touch all the water? Firstly, we don't have one jug for her and one for me. We have 2 jugs for the household, me and her. Wait. We don't have one jug for her and one for me. We have 2 jugs for the household, me and her.
So you have a jug for you and a jug for her.
I think... Is he trying to say they just don't label them?
I guess? Maybe?
I forgot about the water mains being repaired until early this morning when the truck showed up and they started working. I rushed down and made sure there was enough water for the both of us, not just me. On top of filling all the jugs into the dispenser and boiling another kettle full of water, I also filled a few sinks so we'd have extra water to flush the toilet if need be. I honestly thought the water would be cool enough by the time she woke up since it's a cold day, but I guess I was wrong. I didn't expect her to react the way she did. I'm guessing she is very much against ice. Is she OCD? No, she's just pedantic about certain things and needs them to be a specific way. But I don't think it's any more demanding than any other person who's neat and tidy and has certain idiosyncrasies.
I would leave this chick in Harambe's cage.
Hey, another question. Why don't you drink from the tap? Are you Asian? Yes, we are Asian. We are an Asian couple.
Okay, alright.
Stereotypes are true sometimes. Many of you have guessed that drinking boiled water is cultural and a preference. There's nothing particularly wrong with the tap water in our country. Australia, mate! But it tastes better to my partner after being boiled. Warm, but not boiling water tastes different than cooled to room temp boiled water to her. So it's a preference. I prefer chilled water, but I'd happily drink room temp water or even warm if there wasn't... Who thinks about this shit, honestly?
This is so fucking pedantic. Oh my god, just drink water! God damn it!
Give your balls a tug, you tit fucker. Jesus
Maybe this
Christ.
is like a cultural thing, but I'm a fucking American-ass American, and I don't give a shit!
I drink what we have, but prefer to drink chilled. It doesn't affect me in any big way. This morning I just filled everything I could, including the dispenser. Why don't you use ice? I can definitely use ice, but our fridge is a built-in dispenser that we have to manually fill. I do that from time to time with water from the jugs. Normally I'll only ever use one and leave one for her. This morning, in my haste, I used both as I wanted to make sure everything was full. Dispenser, both jugs, and kettle. Why don't you have more jugs? Trust me, this is definitely my next step, as well as the Brita water filter, but I'm worried she might not like the taste of the Brita water filter. Oh my god. What? Okay, I will. Sorry, someone wanted something.
Now that I'm not cutting out.
Yeah, no. I mean, nobody said anything, so. Fuck all this. Anyway, hope that clarifies most of the questions. We'll post an update once we've reached an amicable resolution. My guess is that it's not about the water, as some people have already said, but there's other underlying issues and that this was some sort of trigger.
Maybe, but like...
Someone said, this has to be one of the greatest ITAs ever because everyone is just so confused.
I'm confused. OP's confused. His girlfriend's confused. We're all confused here.
Info. What the hell?
Yep. 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 This is like the first one where I'm just like, info, for the love of God.
What? Is this the water wars everyone's talking about? Is this what
I guess.
I'm fucking speechless.
I can't.
Can I have those 10 minutes back, please?
you didn't think we could top the mayonnaise story, but here we are.
Here we are.
Jesus
This makes the
Christ.
mayonnaise shit almost look reasonable.
Oh my god. Zeke, what the fuck was this?
It was a debate about water. It's all a blur to me now. It's a story about water. It's all a blur to me now, Kevin. I don't even remember it anymore.
Good lord. Next one, please. Please.
I sent it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she chose the life she has and she shouldn't complain about it?
Sure.
To start this off, I'm going to give you some context as to what she did and why I don't pity her. Fun. I, 28 female, have a sister, Caitlin, who is 1 year older than me. So 29 female. Growing up, we were dirt poor. Our family nailed almost every single Southern hillbilly stereotype on the head. We both did decently, but neither of us had ever considered college. Caitlin graduated high school first and got a full-time job immediately. She began to help with bills, but at some point began thinking about maybe going to school. I was having the same thoughts a year later when I graduated. Well, what we hadn't known was that when our great-grandma died, she left my dad all that she had, which came up to a sum of a couple $1,000s that they decided to save for us. And because Kate began talking about maybe going to school, Mom began to save her bill money to add to the sum of the money. Unfortunately, it still wasn't a lot, so our parents sat down and explained that they had money for only one of us to go to school, and that they would have to think about who to give it to. I was prepared to fight for this chance because I realized this was my chance to better myself. I was ready to do whatever it took, but I didn't end up needing to because Kate gave up. I guess Caitlin realized she wouldn't be picked because I had better grades and was more well-liked because Mom told me later that day that she had backed down and said to give it to me. So fast forward. I got my BSN and worked as a travel nurse. I do very well for myself and live about 2 hours away from my hometown. I went to visit my sister because she's pregnant with my nephew, and I missed her and bought some gifts. We had lunch and we were just chatting about what we were up to when she began to complain and whine that she was tired and asked if I didn't mind if she vented. Before I could answer, she started talking about how she was tired of all the time from her shifts at work, and then having to come home to her kids and her husband. It sounded a lot like she was regretting her life, and after about 20 minutes, it was starting to get on my nerves. She would not stop or change topic. Finally, I lost it and told her that I wasn't here to listen to her complain, and that she really shouldn't complain about the life she chose. I told Caitlin that if she didn't have to get married or have a low-paying job, and if she had wanted to better herself, she should have fought harder to go to college instead of giving up before she even tried. It ended in her crying, which I felt horrible about, and then she went home without saying anything else. I tried apologizing for how I phrased it, but not for anything I actually said because it was true, but she won't accept it. Our parents have been giving me the cold shoulder, and I feel lost because they won't listen to my side of why I said what I said. Am I the asshole here?
I think OP is projecting.
A bit.
Yes.
I think this sounds like normal, standard, fucking everyday capitalist hellscape venting, and then you decided to go off about this for some reason.
Top comment and the reply. You're the asshole. Quote, I guess Caitlin realized she wouldn't be picked because I had better grades and was more well-liked. Or maybe she just loved her little sister and wanted you to have a real chance. But hey, congratulations on doing well in high school and being popular.
Yeah.
And the reply says, or, just as likely, OP's parents, quote-unquote, encouraged Caitlin to give up since Caitlin was the one helping with bills and they didn't want to lose that extra income. Either way, OP is an asshole because either she's so blind that she failed to see that her sister loved her to the point of wanting to give her a chance to make something of herself, or didn't realize her parents were selfish and forced Caitlin into a corner. Even without all that, looking down on her sister like she is still makes her an asshole. You can tell which sister was the golden child.
Oh, and some right under that, someone makes a great point.
And Caitlin contributed to that fund too, and never benefited from it.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. So, like, the entire reason you have the life you have is partially because of Caitlin, and you're being, like, super fucking ungrateful. And, yeah Caitlin's life is hard, but she chose it so that you would have a better one. She kind of has a right to complain because she sacrificed so much for you.
Wow, OP sucks.
Fuck you, OP. Damn.
I gotta downvote this. Boop.
Yeah, this is
asshole.
this is getting a downvote from me. This is my first downvote. Let's go.
Yeah, you're the asshole. You suck. You're
Get
bad.
fucked!
I think that's all I got. So wait, no, I have one more.
One more. Let's go.
All right, okay, this one is at the bottom. Am I the asshole for, quote, weaponizing my femininity by crying since the teacher wouldn't stop another student harassing me?
Weaponizing my femininity.
Let's get ready for whatever the fuck that means.
Look out, bitch. I got femininity and I know how to use it.
Okay. I am not in the US, even if this sounds fake to you. Here in South America, things are really this bad, guys. For a little backstory, I, 15F, lost my mother when I was 5. My dad raised me alone until last year when my second dad, whom I call Papa, moved to our home. Now we are a happy family of 4, me, my 2 dads, and dog. I am not ashamed of my family, so I never hid it. I'm not really popular at school because I really just told my friends and it was all good until about 2 months ago, a boy I'll call Duncan, 15M, found out. Duncan started simple with jokes like, wow, which one of them is the mom? Which I promptly told the teacher, Mr. Smith, who was like, he's just trying to understand. If you want people to understand, you have to be patient. Duncan started to ask, enjoy your time here. It'll get worse when your sinner family goes to hell. But again, I went to Mr. Smith, who again was, you can't be prejudiced with his religion. It's wrong in the Bible. He's just trying to understand. In my country, every class only has one responsible teacher, so I couldn't go to another, by the way. I have many examples, but this paints the picture. After 2 months of this, I realized that if I wanted him to stop, I had to do it myself. So when he started with his homophobic shit at the cafeteria, I started to remember the saddest thing I could. All movies where the dog dies. All of the
Of course.
Mufasa's death, Fox and the Hound, etc. Didn't take him long for the waterworks to come. I started to bawl, ugly sobbing while basically screaming at him, asking why he said I would go to hell, why he hated me and my dad's, just making a huge scene. Duncan started to stutter and plead, trying to make me go to class with him and talk to the teacher. I wonder why. I just cried louder and flinched when he tried to pull me away. The scene was so huge we ended up at the principal's office. Miss Yates listened to both sides and was pissed at Mr. Smith. She let me tell the whole story, even when Mr. Smith tried to interrupt me and defend Duncan. At the end, Duncan got a 5-day suspension, and the principal told me to go directly to her if anything like that happens again. When we left the office, Mr. Smith stopped me and told me, I hope you're happy. You put a permanent mark on a good boy's record because you decided to weaponize your femininity instead of being a little understanding. The cognitive dissonance. The cognitive dissonance, Kevin, it's hitting me.
It's real.
Oh, the dissonance, it's so cognitive. He tried to make me apologize to Duncan, but I told him I would go right back to the principal's office if he did, and he dropped it. Then later, Duncan's friend started messaging me, accusing me of acting like Amber Heard.
Oh god, no, oh god, no.
And ruining a boy's life just because I can. I didn't tell my parents yet because they are always afraid I'll suffer because they chose to love each other, and I'll not bring anything I can handle to worry them. I don't feel like I'm wrong, but with Mr. Smith's warning and Duncan's friends, I'm starting to doubt, so am I the asshole?
That's called peer pressure, and you shouldn't be folding to it. You're not the asshole. Also, I want to point out that this doubles as also a petty revenge story.
A little bit. Yeah, maybe someone else should have been a little understanding.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he's only calling you a faggot because he's trying to understand. Like, what the fuck?
Those faggots are my friends!
Oh, he's
I
only
wanna
telling you
understand.
that you're going to hell when you die because he's trying to understand. Like, what the fuck is wrong with your teacher?
Right, okay. And then there was a, so the mod, final edit and update. The mods told me to update, so here's the post. By the way, you're not the asshole. Post is quite long, sorry. First, I'd like to thank you guys for opening my eyes to how bad the situation was and how it could get worse and how I was hurting my dads by not letting them protect me like I want to protect them. Now to the update. Sunday, I sat my dads down and told them everything. I was crying a bit in the end since I was telling them I realized how heavy it felt to be carrying all this. Sunday was the first time I saw an angry side of Adam. I'll just use names since the nickname I use in my language would clash with English, but whatever. Not at me, but at Mr. Smith. He saw red, but the first thing was reassuring me that I was not in trouble and would never be for fighting against bullies. Dad didn't talk much. He seemed sad and shocked just holding my hand, but Adam talked more than I had ever heard in the past. About bullying from teachers, students, the church, and even family. He told me how cruel the world can be to who is different, how people will try to silence me and minimize my anger and my suffering and to never back down, that I will always have my family behind me. He thanked me for loving them so much that I was willing to fight for them, but told me I was the child here, his child he never imagined he could have, and that he would protect me. I didn't realize how much he loved me. I knew he liked me, he is my family, but I just felt as loved as when my dad tells me, what I guess he means birth dad, tells me he loves me. It was a very nice and warm feeling. Adam and Dad went to school with me on Monday, straight to Mrs. Yates, she's not married, Miss Yates' office, and told her everything about the texts. I had them all on WhatsApp.
Ah, you have evidence.
Apparently they use WhatsApp in South America. And about Mr. Smith, and I explained the bullying in more detail. Their conversation was long, and after I gave all the info I could, I was asked to leave the class while they talked, and I only knew the result when I came back home. My dads gave Miss Yates two choices: either remove Mr. Smith from teaching and do a seminar with the teachers about bullying and LGBT causes that my fathers were willing to pay for, or remove me from the school, sue the school, go to the local newspaper with the story. Man, they played hard.
Oh, they were not backing down. I like it.
This ultimatum. She chose the first option. No shit. And asked for about a month to find another teacher. Meanwhile, she will monitor my class closely, and Mr. Smith will not be allowed to penalize my grades like some of you guys have feared. Apparently, Adam has a bit more experience dealing with this shit than I knew, but he also explained to me about privilege. Talking worked so well this time because this is a private school, which worries about money and reputation, and we have enough money to fight, pay for a lawyer, and sue them. He told me that many of the children from public schools like his childhood have to suffer in silence because they don't have the support we have. So, nothing really extraordinary. It all went like many of you guys predicted. Duncan will keep being my classmate, but at least Mr. Smith won't bully us anymore. He was the real asshole in the situation. Also, my papa is awesome and a badass.
Yeah, fucking Adam over here is like the real hero of the story. I like this guy. He's like the very definition of beware the quiet ones, because she straight up said, it's like, I don't hear him talk very much, but like, he spoke up when he saw bullshit. And I respect that so fucking much.
Yeah, it's the only time you really need to.
Yeah, not the asshole. This is a feel-good story.
I love it.
I feel good now.
We don't get a lot of feel-good stories on this show, so this was nice.
No, we're usually lamenting the state of things.
Yeah, normally it's us,
I just reminded myself of the state of things. Oh no.
Oh no.
Not the state of things!
No! That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
I'm just numb to it at this point.
Yeah.
And in the end, it doesn't even matter.
That's not the... It's the lightning round!
Yeah!
This is where we go to our unpopular opinion and read these unpopular opinions. Are these opinions popular or unpopular? Do we agree or disagree? Let's find out. You shouldn't...
Yes.
Unpopular opinion, you shouldn't have to wipe down gym equipment after using it. You should wipe it down before.
What?
Well, this just sounds like the guy doesn't want to do it and wants the guy after him to do it.
Also, you're letting bacteria fester. So, unpopular opinion because it's dumb.
Yeah. Oh, because if you use this system, then nobody knows if the thing has been wiped, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you want to normalize doing it after, so that it is by default wiped for the next person.
Yeah, there's a reason why rules at gyms and shit say that you wipe your own equipment after you're done, so that like it's safe for the next person to use it. Also, I need to remind you, OP, we're still in a fucking pandemic, so that's a little more irresponsible.
Unpopular opinion: gifting vacations is terrible. My in-laws actually sat the family down one Christmas and had a big Disney World reveal. I was annoyed. I know things like these have strings attached. Suddenly my family, my husband, son, and I, are being forced to share our first family vacation with his parents, sister, and her kids. My son was 3, still wearing diapers for accidents, and wouldn't remember a thing. This would be a week of stroller pushing, child and diaper bag carrying. I didn't want to go. I gracefully tried to bow out and was guilted into going. My husband had to miss a week of work unpaid, and only after so much discussing and explaining we couldn't afford to also pay for our own food for the week did they purchase a meal plan for us all. Being a family vacation meant making obligatory meetups, having no control over the dates. It was the first week of summer vacation. Place was slammed and scorching hot. It was just a fiasco. I salvaged what I could for the 3 of us, and we had an overall good time. Going home was the biggest problem when the flight was overbooked and we had to pay out of pocket to upgrade to business class so we didn't get bumped. My husband would have missed another day of work. They were mad we left them there. I'd honestly not get a gift than a gifted vacation again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone, top comment, this is hardly a vacation for a couple with a toddler.
Yeah, it's just an ill fit.
I think gifting vacations is very... I think it can work, but it's very, very...
Well, here's how you do it. You just give me a load of money. I'll be planning my own vacation.
Basically.
Or you give me, like, a gift card to, like, Carnival Cruises for, like, one vacation, and you let me plan it. You don't plan the thing for me and then force me to go along with what you think is fun.
Yeah. So I guess we agree. Gifting vacations, usually terrible, unless you do it right.
Yeah, like, you need to plan that shit out better, and you need to make sure that it's going to work for whoever it is you're targeting with the vacation plan. Otherwise, you're going to run into the problem that OP has.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, it doesn't make sense for poor people to enjoy watching rich influencers flaunt their money. Some people have dreams.
Yeah, it's more so just like, I want to be like that, rather than, you know, liking the shit that they actually
Once again,
do.
I feel personally attacked by this one. To be fair, she doesn't flaunt her money.
Sure.
But, you know, she did go to the Maldives. So,
wow.
Yeah, so...
Is it not pronounced Maldives?
Maldives.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, you know, we all like, you know, I like, you know, we all watch MTV Cribs. We like to imagine what it would be like to succeed in life, you know.
Well, it can serve as a motivation. If it worked for these people, maybe it can work for me.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, real talk, like, that's why I enjoy watching, that's one of the reasons I enjoy watching my VTuber so much, is because, like, she is a success story born out of very mistakes. And if there's hope for her, then maybe there's hope for me. Call me petty, call me weak, whatever. That is one of the things that is uplifting about it.
Also, so, maybe I just like architecture.
Right?
Yeah. Maybe I just like to see, like, nice looking houses.
Yeah, like the sit-at-home moms who watch like, you know, HGTV shows where they're all about, like, Californians buying $20 million homes, and they're like, oh yeah, it's just an average Tuesday here, let's go buy a $20 million home.
Yeah.
Like, it's escapist fantasy. Like, so is every piece of media. What the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
Terrible opinion. Go fuck yourself.
Alright. Unpopular opinion. The scruffy look in men is far more attractive than the well-groomed, ultra-clean one.
Depends on who you are. Next opinion, please.
That is very, very, like, subjective.
Again, I will go back to there are two people I know. One of them is very into macho kind of short guys, probably a bit scruffy, and there are a girl. Her best friend is into very clean-shaven, effeminate-looking men. So it just depends on who the person is. So, like, okay, your opinion is interesting, but it's an opinion. Next, please.
Unpopular opinion: ice and drinks can kind of suck. Yes, ice is a scam.
Yeah, it depends on the drink.
I feel like every other fucking episode we go into this ice is a scam debate.
We really do. We need to stop doing this.
So basically, you're paying more for a large drink, but getting the exact same amount of liquid as a small drink because the ice takes up so much of the space in between that you're not actually getting any more drink.
True.
And because when water is kind of unique in that when it turns into a solid, it doesn't contract in size; it expands in size. So if you think all that ice is just going to expand and fill your cup with water, you're wrong. It's going to subtract and fill a quarter of your cup. So it's not even. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, ice is just a scam. If it's a hot day and you really need ice cold drinks, get something ice cold. Or if you're going to have it for a while and you don't mind drinking a diluted drink, which I don't, I've got to it, then ice can be fine if you go light on it. But yeah, ice kind of sucks. Like, I hate it when I go to like a restaurant or something and they like, well, a restaurant with free refills, I don't care. But if I'm going to like fast food and I say I'd like a large Coke and they fill the entire thing, pack it as tight as they can with ice, I feel like I get fucking cheated.
Yeah, well, the other thing is that, like, even if you want it cold, like, you don't need that much ice to make it cold. Like, these fuckers fill, like, half the fucking glass with ice, and that's just ridiculous.
No, that just helps keep the ice cold for longer because, you know, how thermodynamics work.
Yeah.
The more cold you have, the longer it takes for it to stop.
Yeah, but I don't need it to be cold forever. I'm going to drink it.
Well, yeah, but, yeah, you're right. Ice is kind of a scam.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion: the Seinfeld series finale was the greatest finale of any series of all time. That's interesting because I hear a lot of people hate it.
Yeah, like no. People hate the people typically do hate the Seinfeld series finale. Like, that is an interesting opinion. That's certainly an unpopular opinion. I will give you that one.
I'll give you that. It's unpopular.
Yeah, like, if there's one thing I hear most consistently about Seinfeld, it's like, don't watch the last episode.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Seinfeld to give an opinion on that, but I will say,
but props for the unpopular opinion.
I will say my personal favorite finale of any like American television show is a cross between Weirdmageddon and Meanwhile from Gravity Falls and Futurama, respectively.
Right. Yeah. Meanwhile is like the actual, like the last one, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah. Unpopular opinion: crow's feet are the cutest ugly feature.
Say that again, but slow.
Crow's feet.
I don't mean it literally when I say that.
Okay. Yeah. OP is a MILF hunter. Whatever.
Sure.
I won't shame you. I'll just shame you. Unpopular opinion: it is long past the time where I should be able to get robotic arms or limbs for aesthetic reasons.
Yes, actually.
I don't. Look. We can't afford healthcare for stupid human bodies. Okay, I don't want to have to fucking think about costs associated with mechanical maintenance. So,
you know what? Yeah, fair.
You know what? We should be there, but we're not. Okay.
Well, that's the point that they're trying to make. We should be there, but we're not.
You know what? That's a good point. Yeah, but there's a difference. There's a difference.
Is there really?
Unpopular opinion: reuniting years after graduation is usually a bad idea. People will compare, envy, demean, gossip.
Well, it's a good thing I haven't done that then.
Yeah. Huh, that's a good point, actually. It is the 10... I did graduate high school 10 years ago, huh? Interesting.
Huh.
I don't think a place that small is going to have any kind of reunion or anything. But
Yeah, no.
Unpopular opinion: Purple Rain by Prince is overrated.
You could honestly say that about a lot of like super famous, well-known songs from popular artists. Like, you could say that about any song, and you could probably find a large group of people who would agree. This is, again, such a fucking subjective thing that it's just like, well, that's certainly your opinion, and you're entitled to it. Like, I can't say if you're right or wrong.
Unpopular opinion: McDonald's fries are way overrated.
Only if they're cold.
Yeah, I would actually say so. I actually don't think McDonald's fries are all that. They're fine. They're like, I don't know. I like Wendy's fries. I like Arby's fries. You know,
Arby's does have really, really good curly fries.
Yeah. McDonald's
Serodin,
fries.
what's your opinion on this one?
Why'd you have to ask me? So McDonald's fries are absolutely delicious if they are hot and made right. Yeah. They are absolutely some of the best fries you can get from food. Also, they're one of the best as far as economical goes, because curly fries, there's so much air that you don't get a lot of fries. Waffle fries are the absolute worst. Fuck you, Chick-fil-A.
Well, I love waffle fries.
Yeah, they're delicious, but you never get that many because...
Yeah. Most of the times when I have waffle fries, it's like at home.
So getting like... So shoestring fries are just legitimately the best type of fries that you can possibly get. And when McDonald's fries are cooked hot and fresh, like, just ask for them fresh sometime. They'll do it. They hate you for it, but they'll do it. I worked at McDonald's for 8 years. Trust me, I know. They hate you for it, but they will do it. They have to. So if you ask for fresh fries and you get them fresh, they are some of the best fries out there. So they are not overrated. The only ones I put at a higher tier is fresh Arby's fries, and that's because of the seasons.
Yeah,
Checkers if you're listening somewhere in an uncivilized part of the country.
You said Arby's? I think you mean Rallies, right?
Sorry, Rallies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I have still not gone to we've talked about Rallies so many times. I don't think there's a Rallies around here, and that makes me sad.
I will actually put McDonald's fries, for me personally, on a higher tier than like Five Guys, and I know that sounds like sacrilege. But
Five Guys fries are great.
Yeah, no, Five Guys fries are great because you get a fucking shit ton of them.
Yeah.
They're soggy, floppy, they're soggy and floppy most of the time for me.
You got to eat them right away because they get that way quickly.
Yeah, they're soggy and floppy right away.
Here's a pro tip, everyone. Never order Five Guys over like a delivery service. It will get soggy. Everything will get soggy.
Yes, I have made that mistake exactly once.
Yeah,
also, just don't order Five Guys because a burger, a fry, and a drink, not even the large size, a regular burger, not the large burger, a regular fry, not the large fry, and a regular soft drink costs you like $23 now.
Yeah, it's gotten ridiculous. It used to be like $14, which was a lot, but not like a lot. But now it's ridiculous.
$14 was like Chipotle pricing. It's not really ridiculous considering meal.
That's what I've always made the argument that Five Guys has the veneer of a fast food place, but they really have kind of like a sit down vibe.
They're more like Smashburger in that respect. Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, Smashburger is still cheaper by a lot. It's like $14 or $15, and I can get beer there with my meal.
True.
To be fair, it's PBR, so it's piss water, but it's still beer. And I can get that for $14 or $15. Meanwhile, Five Guys is over here like, we have a reputation, right? Yeah, let's exploit it. $23.
Yeah. I don't really drink, so that's not.
So many straight edges around me. Anyway,
I mean, I will socially. I just don't commonly. Let's see here. By the way, Sarah, I've been meaning to ask, what do you think of the fact that I drive with like a 9.6 position?
9.6 position. Oh, that is the correct way to drive.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that is called a racer's posture. That is called a racer's grip, and it is the best way to get control. It is the best way to get subtle and extreme control over your steering wheel. The 10 and 2 is absolutely wrong. It's for grandmas, and it is absolutely wrong. Any one-handing the steering wheel is only done by morons. Yeah. And So no, that is absolutely the correct way to drive a car. Is 9 and 6.
I feel so validated. So
9 and 6 or 9 and 3. Hold on.
Hold on. I gotta remember what a clock looked like.
Your hands are halfway down the.
They're like they're on the bottom holes.
Yeah, so you mean 9 and 3, not 9 and 6.
I wouldn't call that 3, but okay.
Oh, you're talking about the bottom of both holes?
Yeah, like underhand.
So that's more like. Oh, so that's more like a 5 and 8. No, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. The correct way to drive is with your hands laterally at the 3 o'clock position and at the 9 o'clock position.
But there's no holes there.
No, you're supposed to grip the outside of the wheel and then put your thumbs up. You ever driven a car with paddle shifters? Of course you haven't. You have to drive that way with paddle shifters, and that's how racers drive.
Yeah,
because otherwise you can't reach the paddle shifts.
Yeah, I'm not driving a racing car.
Well, a lot of cars have paddle shifters these days. Yeah. Because straight automatics are not safe. You need control. You need better control over the engine to get a safer car. So,
well, at least I'm being called stupid for a different reason than usual.
Yeah, but
I feel better than being called stupid by the 10-2 people.
Yeah, that's the better question. Who's fucking stupider?
The 10-2 people, because you're putting your arms in the way. Also, your control is way too squirrely up there.
See, exactly. At the very least, you're smarter than these people.
I can drive more slowly and make more subtle maneuvers because all I have to do is adjust my elbows slightly, and I either turn left or right, and I only have to adjust one elbow.
Yeah.
And the problem with 9 and 2 is you have to actually swivel your whole arms and wrists, and that just makes your control really squirrely. That's why you see people like swerving all the time, is because they're using part of the reason is that they can't make subtle adjustments. They can only make extreme ones with that positioning. So, yeah, drive with a 3 to 9. Be a good driver. Thank you.
Right. This has been your.
This has been my rant for the day.
Your weekly driving advice. Let's end with that. All these other ones I'm just saying are dumb shit like stop sticking your tongue out in photos.
Yeah. That's just
seriously, stop.
Good.
You look like an idiot.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously.
Yeah. Somebody says Canada dries the worst ginger ale, and that's pissing me off. So let's just get out of this stupid subreddit.
I'm about to commit violence.
I'm pretty sure it's Vernon's actually, but
Vernon's is an acquired taste. I wouldn't call it ginger ale. It's just Vernon's.
Yeah, but can we all agree that RC Cola is the worst?
I haven't tried every cola in existence, but it's not great.
RC Cola is like the dollar store of Coca-Colas. It's cola.
Are you insulting Donald Duck orange juice right now?
No, I'm not.
I have had Jones. I have had Coca-Cola. I've had Pepsi. I've had RC. I've had a bunch of different types of colas, and I will have to say, hands down, RC is the worst, and it's because of the aftertaste.
I wish.
Yeah.
When I was really, really young, there was a corner store near me that sold Jones. I've never lived anywhere where people sold Jones since then.
Jones is great. They use actual cane sugar in their soda, so it actually tastes like European soda.
I hear their root beer is really good.
Their root beer is fantastic. Probably my favorite root beer outside of IBC.
I think my favorite root beer at the moment is. It used to be A&W, but Barks is getting up there now.
Barks is really good, and Barks is one of the few brands that actually still uses caffeine.
That's true. You gotta use some caffeine in your root beer.
Yeah, I do like Barks. If I have to go for a cheap root beer or not a bottle beer, then I go for Barks.
I do think like the three main brands.
As long as we can agree that Mug is absolute swill.
I think Mug got worse. I remember being better when I was a kid.
Yeah, I
taste change because your taste buds are much more susceptible to sweet flavors when you're younger. And,
that's true.
That's why kids just love to consume tons of sugar and don't like spicy or sour foods.
Yeah.
Or bitter foods because their taste buds aren't acclimated to them, and so they come as like triggering, poison. They come off as triggering poison receptors in the brain.
Yeah.
So when you're older, you tend to have less of affinity for sweet foods and more of an affinity for things like sauerkraut. That's just how it is. That's why kids are very, very much like not sauerkraut eaters in most cases.
Yeah.
Unless they grew up with it.
Yeah. So you're saying Mug's primary strategy is gaslighting children?
Yes, 100%. It is just as sweet as humanly possible, and it's just gross. Like there's very little sarsaparilla or sarsaparilla flavor in it.
Kevin, we got to rank root beer.
Yes, that one I will abso-fucking-lutely agree with you on. I will go out and I will buy as many fucking root beers as I can, and I will fucking rank that shit. I love root beer, and I can absolutely do that.
Right. We gotta schedule that soon. You're probably busy next week, though.
I'm very busy next week. Next week, literally this time next Saturday, I'm moving. So,
Right, so it's not gonna be a show next week.
Yeah, next week there is not going to be a new Baka Gaijin show because I will be unavailable. Normally, I would just let you two do the show, but unfortunately, all the tech shit happens on my end. So,
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but add that to the list. We got to rank root beers. That's the thing we're doing.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I think I also just really liked A&W as a kid because I had an A&W restaurant near me, and that felt kind of special.
Oh, if you can get A&W at an A&W restaurant, it is by far the best root beer out there.
Yeah, I used to go there. I have fond memories. My grandpa would take me golfing, and then we'd stop by the A&W restaurant on the way home. I was really sad because the A&W restaurant closed down when I was like 10 or so, and we got replaced with a fucking hardware store. That was a tough time. Yeah, when you're 12 years old, you don't want hardware. You want root beer and hot dogs and grandpa. My grandpa's fine. He's fine.
Okay.
But anyway, that is going to be the Baka Gaijin show. If you want to be part of the show, you can email us at bakagaijinshow@gmail.com or join our official Discord server in the link provided below. You can follow us on Twitter at ZeekFreak, at CCharmanderK, and at
Serodin Cedronor.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you can do that. You can like and subscribe to catch more episodes of the Baka Gaijin show. Just not next week, though, because Kevin has commitment issues.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Yeah. I'm recontextualizing it a bit, but that's how it goes. Anyway, thanks for listening. We appreciate anyone who stops by for whatever this madness is. And we'll see you next time on the Baka Gaijin show. Zeke freak out. Ciao for now.